I played a full campaign as Italy in Europa Universalis 4, starting in the year 1444 as Florence, forming Tuscany along the way, and finishing as Italy in the year 1662. My goals for this grand campaign were to conquer the Genoa, Venice, Ragusa, Valencia, and Tunis trade nodes, all while creating the tallest Italian empire the world has ever seen by optimally developing provinces we conquer according to what they produce and building the right buildings in the right places. Of course, after starting as Florence, my goals were also to form Tuscany and Italy. In this video, you'll see me start as one of the best but also hardest nations for playing tall in all of EU4, struggle massively with aggressive expansion in northern Italy and the HRE before going on to fight some major wars versus major powers that I intentionally allowed to get big and powerful. This is a compilation or a director's cut of 3 separate episodes of this tall Italy playthrough with only the best parts left in. So, if you want to check out each episode individually, they will be linked in the description and in the pinned comment. But now, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this full playthrough as Italy in EU4. Alright, here we are back in another grand campaign, ladies and gentlemen. You guys enjoy these quite a lot, and so do I, and here we are back as one of my top 3 favorite nations in EU4 Florence. The other 2 are Austria and the Mamluks, of course, longtime viewers will already notice. Now, unlike other grand campaigns, man, where I haven't really played a real game as any of those guys, you know, Biz, Prussia, England, France, all of those campaigns that we did, and by the way, check them out if you haven't, they will be linked in the pinned comment. I actually have played 1 or 2 real games as Florence in my time that I've been making videos, so I am quite, you know, well versed in playing Florence. Of course, as one of my favorite nations, I have to be. But yeah, here we are as Florence, man, one of the best playing tall nations in the game. We start off as an Italian signoria right here, plus 15% national tax and plus 10% max absolutism. Of course, we, you know, term duration is 12 years. We can re-elect ruling families, and Tuscan ideas are some of the best playing tall ones in the game. Starting off with minus 10% dev discount and plus 2 yearly papal influence, which is excellent for staying Catholic the entire campaign, which is what we're gonna do. Finishing off with a plus 5% discipline. In the meantime, we have a 5% tech and idea discount, Merc maintenance, interest per annum, prestige, trade efficiency, production efficiency, and plus 25% national manpower. And of course, the Florentine missions right here are absolutely amazing for playing tall as well. Now, our strategy is going to be, of course, in this first part of this grand campaign, this first video, to establish ourselves in northern Italy, southern Italy, if we can, get to the point where we can form Tuscany, maybe admin tech 10, maybe a little earlier or a little later. And if we can, try and nab some provinces from Aragon over here to release Valencia and Catalonia from, maybe some provinces over here to release someone like Dalmatia or Serbia if they stop existing. And these are basically the trade nodes we're going to be going for: Valencia, Genoa, Venice, Ragusa, and Tunis. So we're going to become, you know, the center of the Mediterranean Empire, dev all of those provinces optimally, get super cheap advisors, farm monarch points the entire campaign, and whatnot. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started by doing the estate setup, man, getting everything started, and seeing if we can actually start this campaign optimally as well by fighting Siena, because Siena is the first nation you want to fight, because that will give you the ability to spy on Naples, and we might be able to catch Naples when Aragon lets them go. Obviously, if we have no luck fighting Siena first, we're just gonna have to go somewhere else and deal with Naples later. But let's get this party started. Alright, estate stuff done. I've also bought indulgence for my sins, so I can hopefully get the Pope to like me, because he's hostile right now. I do want to have friendly relations with the Pope. Half cost level 2 inflation reduction guy hired, trade efficiency guy hired, so we can try and fish for radical reforms for 200 admin and diplo points. Discipline guy hired as well. And now we need to be making 12 diplo points per month and have no loans to unlock this mission, which is something I forgot to do. So let's focus on that, and we'll also focus on paying off these loans that I didn't need to get. I knew there was a mission like that, I just forgot it was that one. At this point, I also want to improve relations with Austria. Oh great, they're hostile too. Come on, man, this is not a lucky start at all, boys. Like, Austria and the Pope are the allies you want to get, man, and Milan too. It might be worth restarting at this point, honestly, but nah, forget about it. Okay, so no allies just yet, I guess. Let's start spying on Siena immediately. And in fact, I'm gonna tell nothing. Yeah, this guy to collect from here, and we're gonna establish communities, and let's start improving with the Pope first. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Force limit right here is 11. I'm gonna leave these guys alone, and we're just gonna hire the free company once we're ready to start our wars. It's tough to fight Siena first, but sometimes it is possible. Okay, I have allied the Pope, and Austria has unrivaled me. That's good. We might be able to get these guys, man. All right, alliance with Austria secured as well, and I did spy on Siena, but unfortunately, Aragon did let Naples go super early right here, which kinda sucks. Siena's allies are Provence and Savoy, and with the Pope's help, we can beat them up, but with this happening so early, man, they can get like a strong ally or something. So if they do get a strong ally, I won't go for Siena first. We'll just have to pivot to like Lucca, who's allied to Aragon. Well, Bologna at least, who's allied to the Pope. Jesus, man, this is not a good start with alliances at all, boys. Such an unlucky start, man. Oh well, we'll just have to work for it, boys. No big deal. Now, a good thing here is, as an Italian nation, we can ally both France and Austria, so I guess I'm gonna work to ally France as well. All right, paid off that loan. There's the first mission: personal diplomacy, improve relations, and relations. There we go. Nice. Allied with 2 countries in Italy. Right. There we go. A quick alliance with Saluzzo just to take this mission, and that's how you get these claims. That's right, man. Sorry, I'm a little rusty. Okay, I've got favors with the Pope. I can deck on Siena. An unfortunate thing here is, they're allied to Provence, and Provence is a nation you want to go for early because obviously France breaks that alliance, and I'll have a truce with them. So if we're lucky here, we go Siena, Naples, Provence, right? Naples has only allied Ragusa, which is actually not bad at all. That'll be a way to maybe annex Ragusa without fighting the Ottomans super early on and establish ourselves in the Ragusa trade node as well. But yeah, without further ado, man, let's get started with our first war versus Siena. Let's call in the Pope. This will be slightly annoying, especially with Savoy's and Provence's subjects involved, but we'll try and white peace them as fast as possible. Let's get it. Okay, war here is done. Wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, especially after I picked up Miltech 4. We're at 4 in all categories, and I did get radical reforms during this war, which is very nice. The Renaissance also spawned. I didn't spawn it, which you do have a pretty high chance to spawn it as Florence, but no big deal. We'll be conquering Lucca, so we'll have the birthplace. And there's our tier 2 government reform time as well. Let's take that before we peace out. All of these are honestly pretty good ones right here. This one is good for making money, you know, for the plus 5% goods produced. This one is good for the manpower. This one we don't need. So honestly, I'd go with one of these 3. Let's pick up, I think, the Republicanism one, man. There we go, for Republican tradition. There's our war with Siena done. We'll piece them out and take all of their money. And yeah, pretty high AE, man. The province is super devved up, but it is what it is. Okay, let's actually reduce war exhaustion, core that province up. Naples, allied to Ragusa and Ferrara now. I don't think they'll be picking up stronger allies. There's a claim on Naples as well. So now after our first war over here is done, you know, realistically, the only nations you should fight is like Bologna, since they're not in the HRE, or Naples. For these other guys, we'll wait them to leave the HRE and maybe even do Provence if we can take them, man. Let's see how it develops, though. We have 2 opportunities, realistically, Naples and Provence. And there's actually an alliance with France, too. Unfortunately, Cosimo died super early. I do got his relative right here, Innocencio. He is a 6-6, but a 0 over here, which, you know, it's all right. It's all right. I took him. Burgundy declared on Provence. That's actually good for me, man, because they'll severely weaken Provence by taking out provinces up here, and some of their allies might not be willing to help them. So I'm spying on Provence. Maybe they could be our second war as soon as our truce is up. We'll see. Yeah, but now that the Renaissance has spawned, man, not that you need the dev, Florence, but we're still gonna do it just to get it up to 30 dev. Normally, I'd push up mill right here, but since we're short on mill, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and expand infrastructure once right here and bump it up twice in production. There we go, it's at 30. Aside from that, though, France won the main war. Castile and Aragon are allied in the early game, which doesn't work well for us, and the Ottomans, without having gone for Biz, are actually going for Albania and Venice. Embrace the Renaissance, so there's Florentine Renaissance, an advisor discount, yearly prestige, and you guys have no idea how cheap advisors we can get as Florence, man. There's reaffirmed civic values for Stab, and it's also time for our first idea group, and obviously, man, we're gonna be picking a no-brainer here for our first idea group as Florence. It's gonna be innovative ideas. Now, you know, people are sort of divided on innovative, man. You know, the pros are like, they're not optimal, blah, 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 and of course, it's not optimal to open up with an admin idea for your first idea group, but the earlier you get these, the better, man, and it goes so well what we're trying to do this campaign, man. We got innovativeness gain, tech discount, possible advisors, you know, war exhaustion, +1 free policies, even more advisor discounts. So the earlier you get these, the better. And then for the second one, man, it might not be a bad idea to pick up Pluto either. It's got another advisor discount with innovative right here. The unrest and morale is great. A merchant, goods produced, dev discount. So yeah, we have lots of playing tall combos we can go for right here. You know, innovative Pluto, infrastructure as well, trade for sure. But yeah, this is what we're opening up with. Oh, France just decked on Provence too. Now, I'm hoping Burgundy stays in this war till October, so then I can just walk and stand on these 3 provinces and I can deck on them too. But you know, that's just unlucky, man, that they were allied to Siena. It is what it is. Let's see how this works out. Oh my god, now they're just getting ganked, bro. 3 guys have declared on them. Wait, why is Austria involved? In the Burgundian conquest of Verdun? Ah, they are allied. Well, Burgundy pieced out. And France is standing on all 4 of their provinces. They're gonna full annex them. No luck there, boys, either. Our unlucky start continues, man. I guess we'll just do Naples or something. Maybe now, too, while Ferrara isn't willing to join, but Genoa is. Jesus, man. These alliances, yo. Absolutely ass. Hold it right there. If you're watching this grand campaign and you want to see more episodes and you haven't yet subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Come on, man. Hit that subscribe button so you stay notified about when part 2 drops, if you want to see it, of course, and about when other videos drop. Do it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, well. Another unlucky thing is Savoy's allied to France. And they've just decked on Milan. And Milan is like your usual northern Italian ally in the early game, but I wasn't able to get them. They rivaled me. So there you go. You lose, Milan. We're gonna go with either consolidation of power or frequent elections right here. It really doesn't matter if elections are every 11 or 13 years, man. I like this one more because of the re-elections reduce state influence by 10%. So that's what we're gonna go with. Also, it's time to declare on Naples right here. They are allied to Ragusa, Ferrara, and Genoa. I think I might take Ragusa as well, depending on the aggressive expansion. We'll see, but maybe I should have positioned myself north because I want to piece out Genoa first. It's gonna be an annoying war with all these level 3 forts, man, but frick it. I mean, who else do we go with? Bologna? Actually, that is an option. Lucca isn't, though. Yeah, let's just do Naples. Frick it. Alright, we've pieced out Ferrara and Genoa. Still in this, I just sieged down Naples. We gotta go for Ragusa too. And as you can see, boys, we're already maxing out on points, man. So the development is starting very early. Now, we have 2 options right here. Either a white piece Ragusa now and take these 3 provinces from Naples, which are like 50-ish aggressive expansion, or I can go for only Naples and only Ragusa, which once again puts me at around 50 aggressive expansion. I can't take these 3, which is what I usually get from Naples, and also Ragusa. That's too much. However, the opportunities are too good, man. If I take Ragusa, we can fight Herzegovina and Serbia too, bro. And that would put us in Ragusa like extremely early, man. So I think that's what we do. I think I just take Ragusa and Naples and go hard on Herzegovina and Serbia right here after that. I'm gonna start spying on those guys immediately, man. Okay, there we go. So if we do this, it's 51A. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And actually, no, I'm not taking money from Naples. Maybe we can get lucky and fight them soon if France or Castile don't PU them. So no money, no war reps, just Naples and Ragusa, man, and just like that, we're done. Now, I want to spy on Herzegovina, and then I'm actually going to release Dalmatia from here because they do have a couple of cores we can reconquer from Venice and 2 from Croatia. If we can ally Hungary and they annex Croatia, we can actually ask for those cores back for free. So let's just core up Naples right here and take this. You know, finally a little luck, I would call this. Okay, Conquest CB on Herzegovina acquired. Let's pick this up as well. Now we can actually continue taking tech. We're still so ahead of time, man. And now I'm gonna go ahead and release Dalmatia, just like that. So we will have a couple of subjects this campaign. Dalmatia is one for sure. We're probably gonna get Catalonia and Valencia too, maybe even Sicily. We'll see. Obviously, we're going to be annexing all of those guys later. But for now, let me actually get unblack flag right here, and we'll declare in Herzegovina. That's right, I'm standing in my subject. I did get unblack flag. Okay, let's declare. No one will help, but we don't need their help. Or, wait, do we? We're actually kind of out of manpower here. Luckily, we're good on cash. Maybe I recruit. I can't move the free company there, though, can I? the Morlocks or someone like that. Yeah, this guy's a 6-2. Let's get those. All right, troops are in position. Let's fight these guys. We're expanding in the Ragusa trade node super early, which is not something I normally do, but it's a great opportunity, man. Not only to block off the Ottomans, but also to nab a gold mine if we can. So there's the deck. Nice. Taking quite a while because I only just got access to Wallachia, but we're blazing through our gov reforms. Obviously, for tier 4, we're going lands for the church, staying Catholic the entire game. By the way, the Shadow Kingdom did happen about 6 years ago. I just forgot to mention it. I am the only Italian nation that stayed in the HRE. I will continue to stay in the HRE unless Austria loses the emperorship, in which case I'll leave. The only HRE nation we really gotta fight for this challenge is Austria to take these 4 provinces from them, but that'll be like way later, not even in this episode, I don't think. Alrighty, war with Herzegovina is done. We're gonna full annex them and take all of their money. Now we can claim province in Serbia as well. They are now allied to Byzantium, who is still alive in Cephalonia, actually. And I know what some of you are thinking, oh my god, you gotta get Biz, you gotta vassalize them over here so you can reconquer all of their cores later. But boys, where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? You know, I know I said we're playing optimally, but that's only dev and construction and tall-wise. And even if I do get Biz and reconquer these cores right here, they're a sucky subject, aren't they? Well, honestly, you know what? I'm gonna get them. I actually am gonna get them. Let's reduce war exhaustion, core these provinces up, and we're immediately gonna declare on Serbia here. Oh, Biz won't even help them. 12 ducats in debt? Maybe I can fix that by sending them a gift. I can't send them a gift, no. Now, interestingly, the Bonfire of Vanities disaster has started ticking right here, which I've said a couple of videos ago. We're no longer cheesing the game to avoid disasters like this. We're gonna lean into them, see what they're all about, you know, experience like historical stuff. So I am gonna let this happen, or I'm not gonna do anything to stop it from happening. Let's just say that. If it stops by itself, then it stops by itself. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting disaster that can fire right here, man. If the Medicis are in charge and if we got less than 80 Republican tradition, basically we can enact the millenarian or millennial theocracy or something like that gov reform, which is like unique and stuff like that. We're not doing theocracy. We're gonna stay with the signoria, of course, and the disaster isn't all that bad. I will show you, you know, what I do if it does happen. But instead, let's wait for this since it is ticking so quickly, 10 each month, and not declare on Serbia. We'll fight them after the disaster plays out. And of course, by not declaring on Serbia, our bad luck this campaign has continued because I've been warned by the Ottomans. What does that mean? That means that everyone that they border that we want to fight, they'll intervene, which means well, actually they won't help Venice, but we can't do Serbia. It is what it is. Well, let's pass that, sure. And there we go, the Bonfire of Vanities has started. Savonarola rises. This is some cleric guide. The Medici must flee the city, so our current ruler goes into exile, and then Girolamo Savonarola becomes ruler, 553, and we enact the millenarian theocracy gov reform. Missionary strength, tolerance of the true faith, max absolutism, republican tradition. As far as I know, this is the only way to get this gov reform, but because of the nature of the disaster, it's kind of hard to make it stick around. I'll show you all the events I get related to it, of course. So basically, this is one of the first events. Savonarola will convince the people this is needed. We lose admin points, he gains followers, and we have a more of a chance leaning towards a theocracy. By the way, you don't stay with this one ever, I think. I think if this guy does end up winning, you become a regular theocracy. So I don't know how exactly you make this one stay, or we'll seize the earthly goods if we must. We lose republican tradition, but it leads us towards restoring the Medici dynasty, which I do want to try and keep in charge the entire game. You know, we're going to be role-playing a little, so even though, you know, it might not be beneficial for us to always take Medicis, I'm going to try to always take Medicis. Obviously, I'm going for this option. Now, this is probably one of the worst events you get during this event. The Pope condemns Savonarola, where basically we go, the Pope is a heretic. We get excommunicated, lose papal influence, and this leads us towards the Medici, or the same thing happens, but it leads us towards the theocracy. Obviously, I'll lead towards the Medicis right here, and we do want to buy indulgence for our sins again, so we stop being excommunicated. Oh, Austria's calling me in versus Baden, sure. And there we go, just like that. This disaster isn't that bad at all. The Medicis come back into power. We become, well, we can become a signoria once again, which I will do, of course. We're role-playing kinda, and the disaster is almost over. Yeah, so that's what you do. Just a couple of events, and you either stick with the theocracy thing, or you stick with the Medicis. Oh, Aragon went Grand Republic, so that means the Iberian wedding won't be happening. It's not too useful because they're allied to Portugal and Castile, so we'll see how we deal with those guys later. Not a focus for now, unfortunately. Now, I have found a really good opportunity right here. We can go ahead and declare on Serbia without the Ottomans getting involved because they're fighting Serbia right now in the conquest of Biz, and even if Serbia gets full annexed here, there's a different opportunity. Hungary guarantees Serbia, which means I can at least get these two provinces back for Dalmatia. So I'm just gonna declare for whatever, knowing I might not be able to take it anyway. But yeah, let's go. Alright, I feel like we've defeated Hungary enough right here, so what I'm going to do is make them give these two provinces back to Dalmatia and also Belgrade to Serbia, because I'm going to vassalize Serbia right here and reconquer the rest of all of these cores later on from the Ottomans. So still, a pretty nice opportunity right there. Serbia has an additional core right here, but that is not a province we're going for. Obviously, it's outside of our scope for this campaign. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with Hungary, man, along with war reps and some money. There we go. Peace with Hungary done. Let's go ahead and siege down Serbia. Okay, while we're in this war still, while Austria is sieging Serbia, I've noticed the Pope isn't willing to defend Bologna, which is great. I was currying favors with him to make him break that alliance, but I don't even need to make him break it anymore. In the meantime, we're done with Serbia. Obviously, we're going to directly vassalize them because they can't, you know, annex and then release. Let's force religion on them, too. And there we go. Serbia is our vassal, and now we officially have 2 vassals, and we can give the nobles strong duchies. So 2 more cores to reconquer for Dalmatia, actually 3. And then a bunch more for Serbia that we're gonna do way later, I guess, whenever we fight the Ottomans. Probably not in this episode, though. And we've wrapped it up with Bologna as well. This is gonna be a full annex on them. No real risk of a coalition. Perfect. Yeah, aggressive expansion. Well, actually, with Hungary, Venice, and Naples, it is kind of high, man. I guess we're gonna have to chill a bit, which is no big deal. I'm overdue for construction anyway, and I have been deving quite a lot, boys, especially with dip. Look at all of this, man. We're looking good. We only own so few provinces, but we're at 200 dev, man. Almost as strong as Aragon. In the meantime, there's another mission, handpicked bureaucrats for some admin points and immaculate government for diplorep and foreign spy detection. Perfect. So Tuscan birthright is conquest, influence the church. We gotta commission the Mona Lisa for that first, which we will do soon enough, I guess. Yeah, this like I guess is one of the hardest ones to do when you know, we gotta be the papal controller. Academy of the Brand is also really nice though for the prestige decay. Austria got Burgundy, which will make the war versus them whenever we do it more fun, I guess. Best part about Florence, you get tech ahead of time with a discount and you gain innovativeness for it, man. 6, by the way. Nice. At 100 innovativeness, minus 10% all power costs is nutty. The Pazzi conspiracy, always, man. So basically this is... There's various events and the disaster we did to actually get rid of the Medicis. The game sort of doesn't want you to, you know, have them as your dynasty unofficially. We can support the Pazzi coup. We lose Stab. The current guy is killed and the Pazzi guy becomes ruler, or we can hang them from the Palazzo, lose Stab, and the estates gain some crownland. Obviously, we're going with this. But the next time we re-elect our ruler or elect a candidate from his family, we won't lose any Republican tradition, which is nice. It's time to pick up our second idea group. Obviously, we can't do another admin one. What I'm thinking about right here is Pluto or trade. Obviously, for what we're going to be doing right here, trade is going to be super beneficial, but we got time to pick it up. Pluto, like I said at the start, has a nice policy with Innovative for even more advisor discounts and prestige. The Merc discount will be good in the early game. Unrest and Morale is dope. A Reform Progress is dope. A Merchant is dope. Goods Produced is dope. Minus 5% dev discount is really helpful. Manpower recovery speed, and then provincial trade power is also really nice. So yeah, we're a republic, man. I'm gonna pick Pluto for our second one. We don't get to do them too often, and I feel like they'll work really well for this campaign. Venice is actually blobbing out real hard in Italy, so I feel like they're gonna be our early/mid-game boss. Now, Tier 5 Gov Reform time, we actually have condottieri contracts right here where Merc companies don't cost any professionalism and even more Merc bonuses, which is really good with this and with this right here, but since this is not going to be a long-term Merc campaign, we're just going to go with something regular. Defensive stance, I think, would actually be really good for a playing tall campaign because, you know, later, once we conquer the borders, we're going to want to fortify ourselves to protect ourselves from foreign powers. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go defensive stance here. Now, we do need to continue our expansion, man, even though AE is a bit high-ish. As we all know, we've been having trouble with Lucca since the start of the game because they were allied with Aragon since the start. But both France and Austria are willing to help out right here, and I feel like this is a great opportunity because we can also make Genoa end their alliance with Naples, which of course will make it easier to fight Naples. I know some of you are thinking get a province or two from Aragon to release some guys, but later I'm gonna fight them directly. I feel like France's help versus them in Castile will be enough, so we'll get to them when we get to them. But for now, it's finally time to, you know, confirm our grasp, our firm grasp over the region of Tuscany. So let's go ahead and declare on Lucca. Something also that's really nice about Florence is, man, you get all of these events for historical advisors. Well, they weren't advisors historically, I guess they were like artists and whatnot, but yeah, like the Da Vinci and whatnot, it's usually worth it to get all of them. There we go, everyone's been pieced out, got war reps and money from Genoa and Aragon, and made Genoa break the alliance with Naples, and now Lucca is ours. Perfect! We have all of Tuscany, no mission for that. We need Emilia-Romagna for that as well, but let's score it up. Our, you know, our control over the Genoa trade node is increasing by the moment. We're already making so much money. That's why you don't really worry about the economy when you start the game as Florence at all, man. You'll be making buckets of ducats in no time. So yeah, now as we chill, man, during this time I haven't only been conquering and deving, we have also been doing construction. There we go, you know, marketplaces, I have them in all of the center of trade provinces, churches almost everywhere. We're doing production buildings now in the high value trade good provinces. Those are all the provinces that give you more than 2 ducats, where the price of the trade good is more than 2 ducats, at least for now. So yeah, we're chilling. Maybe it's time to upgrade some centers of trade after this, huh? I think the Ottomans re-warned me. Yeah, I don't think it lasts that long. I've had it for quite a while. Too bad we can't declare on Venice directly, man, because we do have a lot to take from them, and they'll just continue expanding. But oh well. Unless, when I fight Venice versus Naples here, I make Venice, like, give away these provinces so they don't border with the Ottomans. Then we could declare on them later directly. We'll see. That's a wrap on innovativeness, and now we got like minus 25% advisor discount. And you guys have no idea how much we're deving, man. I just keep pouring these Diplo points into all of these provinces. Pretty much in no time, we're gonna have 10 production in every single province we have. Now, I know it's the optimal way, you know, to dev these, for example, in production, dev these in mill. You don't really dev tax, but we're gonna be, you know, we're gonna be deving every way in this campaign. So yeah, this produces grain, not a big deal. We're still bumping it up in production, baby. Okay, we've chilled a little bit. I think it's time to declare on Naples once again. All of the allies will help, which yeah, at least we're gonna get some money from Venice right here. So let's drag in France, Austria, and the Pope. We're gonna declare for Avellino. You know, that's where my family's from. Not really, just a Sopranos reference. I have made it many times, but not a lot of you guys get it, so I feel like I have to point it out. Sick references, bro. I know, thanks. And everyone's just beating Venice's ass. You love to see it. There is actually an opportunity here to get Dalmatia's cores back. I wonder if we piece out Venice for this. It's 25 AE. And then, what do I want to get from Naples, man? I kind of wanted to go for a lot with them, actually. Maybe something like this, but that's 53. So if we do get all of Dalmatia's cores back, which wouldn't be a bad idea, then I'd have to do something like this. I don't mind, but And we even landed on Venice, yo. Shout out my allies. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, man. Let's make them give all of this back to Dalmatia. I'll get war reps as well. I'll take all their money, and there we go. Venice is out. And now I'm gonna piece out Naples for only those 2 provinces. Let's humiliate them too, since we haven't done it. But the age is coming at a close. Does it really matter? Not really. So let's just get war reps and money. We'll fight them when we fight them. And there we go. That's some more wars done. Aggressive expansion still high with the same guys. Naples, Venice, and Hungary, which is strange because this is the first time I fought Venice. But there's another mission. We've reformed the Monte by having at least 500 ducats. And we gain yearly inflation reduction and reduce inflation cost. I like that. For this, we need to have no inflation. And yeah, pretty much. So yeah, let's score these up. We're chilling. Dalmatia has all its cores back, so we're actually ready to annex them. I didn't think we'd be going that hard outside of Italy in this first episode. I thought we'd mostly focus here, but with this alliance situation, man, basically the Ottoman warning and Savoy being allied to France, which of course I can get rid of, we've slightly, you know, reduced our focus here and increased it here, which is, you know, it's different in every campaign, man. Sometimes I fought here and down here a lot and in Aragon, but I haven't been able to touch anything in the Ragusa trade node when I've done similar goals to this. But we're chilling. I like it. And yeah, let's annex Dalmatia, man. We're swimming in Diplo points either way. Now, while we have guys to fight right here, we're going galley combat, but when we don't have anyone to fight, I'm gonna go merchant navy. Strong Ottomans this campaign. They're already down here. And by the way, this is going to be a non-tolerant campaign, so we are going to be converting the provinces to Catholic, and if there's a province to change the culture of, we'll change it. Something else we also need to look into is fighting Tunis eventually before they ally the Ottomans, which does happen. They're pretty weak. They're only allied to Marrakesh, but do we do it now? Do I have claims bordering claims? I do. It does make sense here to spy on Aragon, for example, for Trapani, and then get a claim on Tunis as well. By the way, we're not going to be trade companying this. This is going to be a core of our country as well. Courthouses, of course, they're going to be down everywhere. So, Savoy and the Ottomans in separate wars fought Genoa, and now they're left only here, allieless. As soon as I build up a spy network on Aragon, I'll spy on them too. And because we're role-playing this campaign, like I said earlier, even if the Medici guys suck over here, we are going to be re-electing them, you know, to sort of simulate, like, the corruption and the nepotism and stuff like that. Like, you know, we're a republic, but not really, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'll always be re-electing these guys. And look at this, man. We're so tiny, but already making 20 ducats a month. I know a lot of it is from war reps currently, but still. It seems that Genoa has allied Naples, which is not bad. We could reset our truce with them like that. And I was a bit too late. Tunis has allied the Ottomans. Oh, well. I guess we're going to be going for them later. Am I not being warned by the Ottomans anymore? I swear it said till 1500. And I don't think the AI cancels warnings. Unless it takes up a Diplo slot? I don't think it takes up a Diplo slot. Yeah, why am I not being warned anymore? Like, if we want to deck on Hungary, for example. Yeah. Either way, that works for us, man. That means we can fight Venice directly. And I like that a lot. And Dalmatia has been annexed. Cool. See, there it is. Come on, man. That's a wrap on Pluto as well, which means we can take minus 10% advisor discounts from here. And currently, man, just 50 years into the game, this is already very good. Wait, I swear I had 20% from somewhere else. No, that's AE impact. There it is, 36%. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Ottomans. Now, we got some good tier 6 gov reform times. We're just going so fast through these, man. Attorney General is really nice for Republican tradition and even cheaper advisors. And we're already above 30% crown land ownership because this does make us not be able to seize. We only gain it from deving and conquering and whatnot. But then again, supremacy is decent as well because calling the diet no longer increases influence. And elections influence the estates based on who you elect. Also, calling the diet increases Republican tradition. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this, even though it means we can't seize Crownland. We don't need to seize it for a very long time, man, as long as we're above 30, so we're chilling. Frick it, even more cheaper advisors. Yeah, look at this, man. Level 3 admin guy for a ducat 88. Okay, but now we can commission the Mona Lisa because we got one of those guys at least at skill 3, so that gives us a tech and idea discount for 15 years. Maybe we want to save this since we're ahead of time and we're not doing any ideas, but, you know, we'll take it. And there's influence the church as well for prestige. Now we need to control the church. Do we try? Currently, Aragon's the controller. The Pope is 60. Who's invested? The Pope's invested 72. Yeah, let's try investing, man. Let's try investing. And look at this, man. A skill 3, 50% cheaper philosopher. That's a prestige guy. So that's him right there. Actually, he costs about the same with the guy I got right now. But prestige is better than stab. I don't need stab. France is threatening to break the alliance with me, man. Because I'm allied to Austria and now I'm rivaled to Savoy as well. We consider the same 8 provinces to be of vital interest. Oh, Naples. Okay, that's why they want to break it. Okay, yeah, I realized that immediately. Now we should be good? Yes. All right, let's quickly pop over to Genoa, call in the Pope right here. He can peace out Naples just for this one province. Well, that was quick and easy. There's Corsica. Cool. Now, since we've wrapped up all of the easy wars that we can do, man, you know, Naples is pretty much the only guy left once my truce with them is up, and it's only 5 years, so it's not that bad. But Savoy, we gotta make France end that alliance first. Venice, we can't because of the Ottoman warning. Hungary, once again allied to France, so we can't take some additional provinces from them. Aragon could be an option. France is willing to come in right here, but, you know, we got a pretty strong Castile and Aragon this game, so... You know, even if I invade from here, then come back up, it's gonna be a little annoying. So, yeah, I guess we keep pushing for Naples here. You really do want to mainly focus on northern Italy in this type of campaign, but it's just the way this game is set up. So, just bumped all centers of straight up to tier 2, so that's nice. We're maxed out on Diplo here, and we can already culture convert some provinces. Like I said, we are gonna be doing that if we can. Now, I wonder, do we do it to the Italian ones as well? Because... you know, eventually we are going to become an empire and all of these are going to be auto-accepted, so maybe not, or do it even more role-play-y in the fact that we don't convert, for example, the Croatian ones to Tuscan over here, but maybe we convert them to Dalmatian because, you know, if we do a storyline like the Dalmatians already live here, and, you know, once we took this from Croatia, they're the one, from Hungary, sorry, they're the ones that moved in, something like that. I don't know. I feel like that would be a cool way to do it, right? Whereas, you know, maybe we get some Sicilians down here in Tunis later, some Sardinians, some Tuscans, stuff like that. By the way you do that is you actually have to go into the province directly, and there we go. We can choose to change it to Tuscan, which is our main one, obviously, and then you can choose to change it to the one that borders it as well. And in fact, it is cheaper to change it to Dalmatian. Is this the most optimal rather than changing it to our primary one? I guess not, because it is going to be a while before we become an empire. So maybe it's not the most optimal in a playing tall sense, but I do like it in a role-playing sense. So yeah, let's convert these two to Dalmatian, man. Why not? I do like it, and it is a little cheaper. Something that I hope is maybe in EU5 that I wish was in EU4 is the ability to make like an entire culture group a single culture over time. I feel like it should be really expensive and take a really long time, but maybe after, let's say, you form Italy, which is like, I guess, the ultimate Latin cultured nation, you know, Roman Empire aside, and after you gain all of these as accepted cultures, you know, maybe you could converge it all into a single Italian culture or something like that, as opposed to, you know, just converting everything to Tuscan, for example. And maybe, you know, since Francian already exists, all of these become Francian or something like that, you know. I realize it's not even really like that even today, but I feel like it's a cool possibility. You know, Muscovy already has that, you know, merging of all the Slavic ones into like East Slavic or whatnot, so I guess this would be similar. Colonialism has now already spawned. We're absolutely maxing points over here, and we do have quite a few provinces that are super cheap to dev. Lucca with 19 development only costs 31, and if we bump it, we will gain support for colonialism. So, you know, let's develop it, man. Let's create another super powerful province over here. Let's just expand infrastructure. It kind of sucks that we're not really bumping these up in mill that much, but right now I can use mill too. So I'm in fact going to use a few mill points here at the start, and then we're going to continue deving it with admin and dip, and yeah, there we go. There's colonialism. And we've become a great power. Our own dev is 322 as well, so if we leave the HRE, we will become a kingdom. But the thing is, I'm currently staying in because of this. I don't want to have to fight the Emperor when I fight Switzerland for just these two provinces. Well, our truce with Naples is up. They're the easiest nation we can fight, so why not fight them, man? I'm gonna call in France and Austria and the Pope. No, actually not the Pope here. Oh wait, no, yes, the Pope, so I control his truce with Naples. War of the League of Cambrai be like... War is done, and I think that's gonna be a full annex on Naples, boys. Now, sure, we can do this and maybe vassalize them so we can reconquer their course from Aragon for cheaper later, but I really don't see a point in doing that because they're gonna be mad, and if I want to do this and then release them, they'll pop out everywhere. So yeah, that's a full annex on Naples, man. Still, Venice and Hungary are the only nations that are mad, and just like that, we've completely wrapped them up, and we've expanded in southern Italy a lot more than I thought we would in this early portion or this first episode, but like I said many times, those were just our opportunities today. And after getting colonialism, there's tech. Hey, good news. Ottomans just decked on Venice. If they take everything down here, that means we will be able to fight them. I did want to make them pop someone out, but there's no one I could make them release from Naxos, even though Naxos has a core right here. I don't think they can do it because it's Greek or something like that, but I could make them pop Biz from these three. Couldn't do anything with this one, so I just decided to not do anything. All right, now I got a lot more provinces to dev, man. Let's see, what are the cheapest ones? Oh yeah, we're gonna be bumping a lot over here, man. I like that. Of course, we can't forget to lower autonomy whenever we can. You know, I know I'm doing this sort of as a guide, but, you know, I'm just explaining the nuances of playing tall, ladies and gentlemen. And the Protestant Reformation finally spawned in Utrecht. Of course, this is going to be a very strong Catholic campaign, and we're even going to get involved in the War of the Protestant League and try to help the Catholic side win. Now, I do have 50 favors with France. I was just gonna make them break their alliance with Savoy so we can fight them, but I think we hold off on that because Venice is dying to the Ottomans right here. They're allyless. My truce with them expires in just about 3 years right here, so I think we hold off, lower aggressive expansion, and then hit Venice once our truce is up. If we can get all of Emilia-Romagna, which is tough because it's so dev'd, it will be nice so we can fulfill this mission down here. Ooh, there's prospering times. Luckily, we haven't expanded too much, and we were lucky that it spawned in Italy in Molise. So if we click this option right here, we gain 25 Diplo points, a bunch of dev right there, local dev discount, and plus 25% local trade power, which, boys, it's pretty much like creating a level 3 center of trade. So look at this now. If we want to build a marketplace in Molise where it'll spawn, it brings us 0.87 trade power, right? But after we do this, if we take a look at it again, it brings us 14.09, which is absolutely insane. So this will definitely increase our control of the Venice trade now. Right now it's at 19. Let's see what it's at after we build it. The Ottomans have taken everything down here. I am still being warned by them. That really is only valid for Hungary, let's be real. And if I want to hit Venice, Switzerland is their only ally. Perhaps I could even make Switzerland release Milan. Doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, something like that. Now, something else I'm wondering at this point is, you guys know the strategy of once you're big enough, you can vassalize all of those one province miners around you. I'm wondering if we make Venice release like Parma, Mantua, Padua, Verona, Aquileia right here, will those guys wanna become our vassals? Are we big enough for that? So maybe we can check right here. See, the Knights are already willing to accept. I think they're in Malta, which actually might not be a bad idea. Shoot. Yeah, that's a province we need. And Trent and Milhouse and like Salzburg are pretty close to accepting. So I think, man, if we make Venice release all of those guys, we would be able to vassalize them. So yeah, what I'm gonna probably do in the war with Venice as soon as we fight them is take like 1 to 3 of these provinces and make them release Parma, Padua, Verona, and Aquileia. And then they'll be alive in like Treviso, Venice, and these 3 provinces over here, which are Milan cores. Oh, wait, no, Mantua has a core on this, so I don't make them release Mantua, because they'll pop out of these 3. Yeah, okay, it's just Parma, Verona, Padua, and Aquileia. Let's see how that develops once we do it. That was easy. There's the Knights, who are in Malta as our vassal. Perfect, man. We acquired a really nice province. Of course, it does have the Malta forts, which gives you, war score cost versus other religions, most importantly. But yeah, I think by the time we get it up to tier 3, we won't really be needing that. But then again, it could be before we fight the Ottomans in Tunis, who are still allied. But what's this? Who is Aragon fighting? Interesting. Yeah, by the way, building that building did increase our control over Venice a bit. Obviously, it's super small because I have only like 3 provinces there, so we're making about 43 ducats now, boys. You know, since the last time I showed you, we haven't expanded that much, but there has been a lot of construction and deving. Now, it's tier 7 gov reform time. I feel like we go with either provincial governments or admin divisions. We don't really need all that gov cap right now. Of course, we will be needing it after we do this, but, you know, after we get these, we're also going to become a kingdom. I'm building a lot of those buildings, and I guess we could swap to it at any point with 50 reform progress. So I'm just going to go with this right now for state maintenance, because we do gain additional permanent state maintenance, I think, from certain missions or something. Yeah, this one right here. So it'll be super cheap to maintain those states. So yeah, I'm sort of stacking modifiers we already have. That's the way I like to play. But yeah, by this point, Austria has passed 4 reforms, man, so we are getting some nice things for staying in the HRE. Alright, truce with Venice is officially up. Let's go ahead and declare for the conquest of Ravenna. We'll call in... Ooh, France won't come in. That's okay, we'll call in Austria and the Pope. I started building 1 trillion galleys for no reason, and somehow they just crossed. I think... Wait, I was gonna say Venice deleted their boats, but they didn't. They just moved them out. Idiots. Dumbasses, bro. Look at how many galleys I'm building. Oh, freaking, we'll keep them anyway. Well, the Pope holds Venice for some reason, but no big deal. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let's go into release nations first. So there's Aquileia right there. Ferrara, we don't want to do. Mantua, they got 3 we don't want to do. Milan, we don't want to do. Oh, Modena. I forgot about Modena. That's right. So Aquileia, Modena, Padua, Parma, and Verona is 76% war score. Now, honestly, I don't think I can vassalize all of these guys. I'm just giving it a shot. I might not be able to do any of them. And then I'm going to take Ravenna and Ferrara. That's not even that much aggressive expansion. And then let's take just a couple of ducats right here. And that's our war with Venice done, ladies and gentlemen. Now, currently, they are all... wait, Verona isn't because... yeah, they're kind of far away. Okay, shoot. If we can take 4 out of these 5 guys, I'm super satisfied with that. Let's go with... we'll go one by one in case they rival each other. Yeah. Alright, there's Parma immediately. 1 done. Let's go for Modena next. There's Modena. Freaking easy, man. Look at this. 15 dev and 10 dev province for free. Verona still doesn't want to be our subject, so let's go with Padua next right here. Perfect. There's Padua. Let's go for Aquileia now. And there's Aquileia. Man, that's 26 plus 13, 39 plus 14. What's that? 63 dev. Pretty much for free, boys. You know, obviously we're going to be annexing these guys and so on, but yeah, I wonder why Verona doesn't want to. I can never get this economic base. Then again, Parma is a republic. They accept it too, so maybe an alliance and a royal marriage will change this. It does sometimes change it, you know, with the opinion and stuff like that, but I don't have Diplo ideas, so I will lose stab if I break that royal marriage. I'm gonna try, though. I'm gonna try. I just can't do it. I even got all of my guys to divert trade in case, you know, it was some Venice trade note shenanigans. But, yeah, maybe later, man. Maybe later. But with that war said and done, and with all that said and done, and these guys vassalized, I think this will be a pretty good place to call it, except there's only one more thing left to do. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are very close to taking Tech 10 in every single category, way ahead of everyone else in the world. So there's Admin 10, Diplo 10, Mil 10. Obviously, first we're gonna go ahead and, you know, get better of these guys. It's also time for a third idea group right here. Now, to continue this playing tall run, it would be very nice to go for infrastructure right here. We gain state maintenance again, and global prosperity growth, construction discount, expand infrastructure discount, center of trade upgrade discount, state governing discount, fort maintenance discount, construction time, and expand admin discount, and dev discount. So this is pretty much like the discount. It should be called discount ideas. It's a no-brainer. We do this is everything related to playing tall. And I almost never pick this idea group. It's such a rare pick. So I am gonna go infrastructure ideas, and there we go, we're gonna take that. Now additionally, we've unlocked something else, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, the ability to form Tuscany, which was our specific goal, you know, for part 1 right here of this grand campaign. And there we go, country changes to Tuscany. It's only a color and map, it's only a map color and flag change, but it is something we did need to do. Yeah, this is the 3rd time they're calling me into this. I really don't get it. Like, just PU button, it's really not that hard. Yeah, you guys were right about the royal marriage, man. Nice. 5 vassals for free that we popped out of Venice last time. Yeah, buildings-wise, we're doing really good as well, man. Ooh, we don't have one in Ferrara now, do we? There we go. We can put one down in Ferrara. Siena, we don't need one right there in Arezzo. Those aren't centers of trade. And, yeah, let's continue with other buildings, man. Our economy is looking really, really strong. And there we go. Verona has been vassalized as well. Of course, we can do this even though we aren't at peace because we're not the ones that declared this war. But, yeah, not a lot else to take right here. Let's hope the Ottomans still are... Oh, now Morocco too. We really got to take advantage of this, man. All right, folks, we do have a claim on Tunis using claims bordering claims. Let's go ahead and hit them. Morocco and the Ottomans still won't defend them. This is awesome. Just Marrakesh is going to be in this. I don't even need anyone's help in this war. No one's going to make it faster. So, yeah, let's just go by ourselves. I love it, man. We're going to be taking over the entirety of the Tunis trade node, and this is going to be a core part of our state. So no trade companies or anything like that right there. Let's go. But yeah, man, the goal in this second part of this playthrough that I think we'll have 3 parts right here is just pretty much, you know, to continue what we've been doing last time. Episode 1 was all about establishing ourselves in these various regions. Now this episode is us going to be going hard into these regions wherever we can, and then next time, you know, we're gonna finish off our conquest, form Italy and whatnot. So yeah, I do like that. Obviously the Pope and the Ottomans are probably going to be some of the last nations we fight because we are Catholic. We do want to be friendly with the Pope. We're still allied with Austria as well. We need land from them in the Venice trade node. So yeah, still quite a lot to be done. I think we can fight Aragon this episode too. Of course, because this is a role-play type of campaign, we are trying to keep the Medicis over here all the time. You know, we're doing careful culture conversion. I converted these 2 to Dalmatian instead of Tuscan proper, you know, stuff like that. We're keeping the Medicis in power, and I'm even debating on flipping to a monarchy while we're Tuscany here, because some of you may know the second Duke of, what was it called? Cosimo I de' Medici. He was like the first Grand Duke of Tuscany and stuff like that. So I don't know, though. That might not be that optimal dev-wise, right? But yeah, do we keep Bonaventura right here, who's a 43351? He's pretty good. Or his relative 541. Nah, let's go with this guy. And there we go, man. The Age of Reformation has started just in time. We got that claim on Tunis. We were cutting it close. Good thing I noticed. And yeah, man, we're just chugging along with the dev as well. You know, it would be nice to develop these poor southern Italian and Balkan provinces when we're maxing out on points. I can even build a monument. The Royal Palace of Caserta doesn't really help that much with something, but yeah, we do also want to build up all of the monuments. Now, if I want to full annex Tunis, I think I gotta do something like this. This is pretty much the border of the trade node, and I sort of want to surround them to stop anyone else from taking land over here. I don't want to have to fight, like, Aragon again for stuff down here, or the Ottomans again for stuff down here. Now, I can't exactly take everything, and this might be a little too much, man, so I'm actually gonna scrap that plan, and we're gonna take, you know, selective conquest right here. Let's just take these three states right here, which are, of course, the richest. So there we go. There's our war with Tunis done. Austria's actually passed quite a lot of reforms this campaign, man. I don't know why they're farming so much, what you call it, imperial authority. Protestant was kind of late, and there aren't that many of these guys Protestant, and I guess they have had a lot of rulers die or something, but, you know, you never see the AI take one of these. I wonder which branch they're gonna go down if they can reach it. I don't think they can, though, because Protestant is about to take full effect here. There's well, two of them spawned in Scandinavia. I guess we'll see where Reformed spawns. There's Medici bank ledgers. Interest per annum and state maintenance till the end of the game. Really strong. Public works, 6 manufactories. Own everything in Emilia-Romagna, which I guess we will eventually. This one is the most annoying to do, man. Become the papal controller. It's like ass. Let's annex the knights right here, which we diplo-vassalized last time by getting the, you know, Malta Force Monument right here. We are going to have some bonuses to war score cost versus other religions. Even more when we upgrade it to tier 3, of course, which might be helpful versus the Ottomans later. In keeping with tradition, of course, there's Ippolito de' Medici, the 17th Tuscan Duke. No, not really. Level 5 admin guy for 529 isn't bad at all. Oh, dude. France isn't willing to defend Savoy here. Oh, I just realized, well, never mind. I was gonna say we have to fight France. Of course we gotta fight France. We gotta take all of this from them. They conquered it earlier. But yeah, this is actually, I was gonna go for Aragon like I told you guys, but this is a really good opportunity to fight Savoy right here, man. The provinces, of course, are gonna be devs, so we can't take that much. Let's just call in the Pope right here. Nothing too bad. Gelre and the 3 leagues are their allies. Geneva's still their vassal. We'll see what we can take. There's no one we can really pop from them. Montferrat, maybe, so we can do the whole vassal thing. I'll try. Maybe we even go up here so I can gain a border with Switzerland. Then we can finally leave the HRE after I take these provinces. But the Pope joined. Alrighty. Austria's just decked on Savoy too. Or what? Of Chambéry? Austrian conquest of Chambéry. I guess a Burgundy claim. I've just annexed Parma as well. You know, we gotta chop down the number of vassals right now because I'm gonna be getting 3 more once I fight Aragon, and maybe 1 more if we do Montferrat. Yeah. Alright, pretty much done with Savoy right here. Let's see what we can do so we can make them pop Genoa, which we don't want Milan or Montferrat. Let's do Montferrat. I'm gonna take Genoa then, and maybe these two. How much A is this? It is quite a lot. 52 aggressive expansion. This is about the max I feel I can go. I'm doing this so I can fight Switzerland for these 2 provinces and leave the HRE. I guess we'll get the rest of it later if someone else doesn't. So let's get war ups and all their money too. And we should be able to vassalize Montferrat here for free. Yep, someone popped this Genoa too. But they aren't willing to accept, yeah. And there's Montferrat. Now we do eventually have to fight Hungary as well right here. We need 3 provinces from them. They're allied to France now, which, you know, I guess it's good we didn't use up those favors making France in the alliance with Savoy. Although now they guarantee them. That's kind of strange. Either way, tier, what is it? Tier 8 gov reform time. This is actually pretty important for us here. We got trade efficiency. Over here is trade steering and trade company stuff. This is domestic trade power. Embrace free trade. Embracing an institution gives monarch points. Improve inland routes. No longer requires trade power to be used. Embrace the economic theory or war economy. This one would be the best if we got economic or infrastructure. How far away are we from completing infrastructure? Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with. As soon as we wrap that up, man, Lachian Provisor right here, dev discount and goods produced. That's the one for playing tall. And I'd rather wait and take this because, you know, we're gonna have to wait for 50 more to swap it later. So let's just have no tier 8 gov reform until we complete infrastructure. Sus has expanded over here. They're allied to the Ottomans and Aragon, so it's gonna be tricky to fight them later, but I guess we will. And now Tunis is guaranteed by the Ottomans. That's even worse than an alliance. Yeah, tricky. Good thing we entered here when we did, because we're not gonna be fighting these guys for a while. I think maybe even after we fight the Ottomans, because I'd rather declare on them and make them end alliances and guarantees and stuff. So yeah, it's 200 and how much? 264 admin points to take tech. That's some playing tall for you. Okay, now the knights are back even after we annex them. The Pope will dislike me slightly for this, but grants access to the San Juan Holy Order as long as we remain Christian. I don't got those, right? No, I don't. I forget. I just started annexing these two guys, Padua and Modena. All right, Padua and Modena have been annexed. That means I can take that Emilia-Romagna mission, Tuscan Birthright, permaclaims on Lombardy and the Po Valley, which is this up here. Yeah, Venice, man, our truce with them is up, but... and I'll get to them when I get to them. They're not really doing anything. Boys, let me not yap on for too long right here, man. You guys know the drill by now. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Don't you want to get notified about when new Grand Campaign episodes drop? So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do it. For more Grand Campaigns, A to Z's, releasables, and who knows what else. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to putting every province up at 15 dev, man. I have been doing development in southern Italy and in the Balkans recently. There we go. Not looking that red anymore, huh? Obviously, it's going to be the toughest to bring this up, especially since it's all deserts, but we're going to create metropolises in these deserts, boys. Believe that. But yeah, while we're in this, boys, let me know, how are you guys enjoying this, what's that, our 5th or 6th Grand Campaign right here? Obviously, Tuscany, like I said in the first video, is one of my top 3 favorite nations in EU4, along with Austria and the Mamluks, which don't exist anymore. But yeah, how are you liking this one, man? It's different, you know, the other ones we've done. Not so conquest focused, a little more tall, a little more dev. You know, obviously, it's not that fun to watch someone click around buttons to dev or build buildings and stuff like that. I know you guys want to see war, but yeah, it's fun for me. Yeah, who are the Ottomans fighting, by the way? The Timurids in the Ottoman conquest of Mogostan. All right, and there's a wrap on infrastructure. Lots of, you know, I called this discount ideas last time because it's literally all discounts and it's excellent for playing tall, man. So yeah, let's take that. We also unlocked even more dev discount. I wonder, actually, development discount isn't in here, right? You never see it there, but for example, if you want to bump a province, you will see it right there. 10%, 5%, 10%, 5%, 10%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 10%, 10%, plus 192, obviously, because it's so dev. 10%, 15%, 9.2%. It's insane how cheap it is, man. I don't know. We don't have a province that's not really that dev to where I can show off how cheap it is, but yeah, I don't know. Ferrara, maybe? Look, it's at 15 dev and it costs 21 to bump it up, man. So yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Look, this 11, 21 too, dude. But yeah, now we got a policy as well, which is provincial trade power. I mean, we're already swimming in admin, man. Might as well pick this up, even though it's not free. And now we can also take Lachian Provisor right here for even more dev discount and goods produced. Look, our guy is an industrialist, I think, or industrious. And currently we're at 25% goods produced from nothing. I don't even know what free subjects is. But okay, boys, we've chilled enough. We still got how many subjects to annex? Yeah, we'll go for Aragon soon. No, France and Austria both aren't willing to help. He's malevolent. Austria likes them. Yeah, let's go ahead and fight Switzerland, man. After this war, we will finally be leaving the HRE. Unless someone like Savoy joins to feel protected or something like that. But I don't think that'll happen. Or Genoa, maybe. They are allyless. No, they're not. Okay, let's fight Switzerland. These are all their boys. Kind of annoying, but let's drag in the Pope. He'll make it a bit faster. You know, Austria's offering condottieri. I rarely get offered condottieri. Let's accept them. Okay, what's this? 22k stack. Sure, man. Yeah, I can run that easy. Okay, pieced everyone out, dragged France in because they were willing to join. Why not? But there we go. There's those 2 provinces from Switzerland, man. Nice. Okay, we've conquered everything that's in the HRE that we need to conquer. Aside from the Pope, which, I mean, if we're gonna do him last, it really doesn't matter if we stay in or not, right? Or it doesn't make sense to stay in until then. So, yeah, I think it's time to leave the HRE. There we go. We have left the... Oh, no. I've made that mistake before. First, we gotta core them up, then we leave the HRE. Tunis is now a vassal of the Ottomans. You know, we're getting so many separatists these past few years because we got the Great Peasants' War active, man. That's an HRE thing. It'll cancel as soon as we leave, I think. Are you kidding me? When did it spawn here? I don't think it spawned while I owned it. I guess I took it from, like, Savoy, right? That absolutely sucks. Alright, I've cored the provinces up. Now we got religious turmoil taking as well, which is expected when you drop below 75% religious unity. Even if it fires, it's not really that bad. But it is finally time to leave the HRE. All provinces will remain with the current owner and be removed from the empire. Okay, so yeah, we don't lose anything. And there we go. We're no longer a part of the HRE. There are benefits to staying in because Austria has passed so many reforms and we're actually getting some nice, you know, like the dev discounts or the construction discounts or the state maintenance, right? But we can't, man. There's just, we're too prestigious, too powerful to be in the HRE. We're more powerful than Austria. Number 3 great power in the world. 803 dev, and we don't really own that much, do we? But yeah, it's time to finally become a kingdom. Grand Republic, by the way. Nice, nice. Either way, there's a mission, Dreams of Grandeur. Finally, textile manufactories, man. I guess we don't have that many cloth provinces, do we, huh? Oh, yes, we do. They're down here and they're poor, but we'll get them in line soon enough. At least now I can state a lot more. I've stopped stating for a while now. You know, the relative is nice. Another Cosimo. But I like Ippolito, man. He's industrious and silver tongue. Now, there we go. The Council of Trent has fired. You guys know that I usually go conciliatory only for the improved relations, but I think this is a game where we go harsh. I mean, we need to be converting. We need to resist the Reformation. And since this is going to be a Catholic-heavy playthrough, you know, War of the Protestant League, help the Catholics. I think it makes more sense RP-wise, roleplay-wise, to go harsh. And now, of course, we can embrace the counter-Reformation as well, which is dope. We should be able to convert some more like this. This is always nice. If only I was working on one of these. Obviously, if we reform the army, we gain insane mill modifiers for the next 10 years, so why not? You know, I know it's embarrassing for such a tall nation as ours to have 3 dev provinces and 5 dev provinces, but hey man, we're really bumping up a lot of them, man. 15 is pretty much the minimum a lot of these ones are on. Savoy's a vassal of France. You know, it gets more complicated as we go, boys, but I really gotta fight Aragon here, sooner or later. We made haste slowly. The moment has come. Our government is perfect as it is. Admin points. Our crowning glory shall be a crown. This is the moment, boys. This is the moment where we decide if we want to flip to a monarchy, because it does make sense roleplay-wise that we would flip to a monarchy the moment we are Tuscany. Or, okay, we can abolish the Italian seigniorage government reform, enact noble elite tier 1, which is, yeah, it gives us more absolutism. It's kind of like, you know, a little more absolutist than Signoria, but it's just, it's a generic one because noble elite already exists, and we didn't choose it once we had the chance to choose. So, I don't know, man. I feel like this is the right moment to become a monarchy. Enact the autocracy tier 1. Yeah, you know, Italian Signoria isn't that good in and of itself, but you know, republics and the points and stuff. You know, Grand Consul Ippolito de Medici. You know what? I'm doing it, man. We're doing it for the roleplay. Sure, it's not the most optimal, but this is a sign. You know, I was thinking whether to flip this mission. It's pretty much telling us to. So there we go. The age of republics has come to an end, ladies and gentlemen. We are officially the Grand Duchy of Tuscany, right? Well, I guess we're the Kingdom of Tuscany. Good enough for me. Now, of course, we do have different other reforms, which I didn't think about, but, you know, noble castle rights is not bad. Strengthen noble privileges isn't bad either. Curtail, noble officer core. All of these are actually really nice for us, man. I think I'm gonna go strengthen noble privileges. For this one, we're gonna go centralized monarchical, even though we're playing with vassals. Let's go with the vassals one for now. Over here, we're going lands for the church, of course. Tier 5, we were defensive stance. And tier 6, we can go with something else, which is, I guess, gonna be aristocratic court for now. Royal decree later? Sure. And we even have tier 7, which is, and free policies wouldn't be bad, but we do want the cheaper advisors for the tall playing. And then we arrive to tier 8, we can go back to Lachy and Proviso once again. So yeah, there we go, the Kingdom of Tuscany, folks. Well, you know how it is. You can't always have the good ones, man. I guess Cosimo is gonna be an absolute dumbass over here, but, you know, we'll take him. He's our dumbass. Now, nothing really changed with income there, I don't think, which is what I was most concerned about. There's another mission, I think that, yeah, that's the manufacturing one. Public Works, more dev discount, and yearly prestige. What's Levy the Arno right here? Florence, total dev grown by 15. Have we not grown it by 15? We didn't really dev our capital that much, and look, man, it's still extremely cheap. Finally, an opportunity to, you know, bump up, what you call it, mill as well. There we go. We'll do something like that maybe, huh? There we go. Actually bumped it up 2 more times. There's Levy di Arno. We gain all of these extremely powerful permanent modifiers till the end of the game, man. Trade power, production efficiency, tax. I love it. I love it. At this point, I've built up a spy network on Genoa. They're allied to the Pope now, no longer in a trade league with Venice, but as we all know, the Pope is our lifelong ally and friend, at least until we annex them. So let's make him end that alliance with Genoa using favors, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we can catch Genoa allyless and full annex them. Now, in the War of the Protestant League, I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna fight France then, man, because they're... Oh, I thought I was looking at France with this, but Austria is going to be really powerful. They're annexing Burgundy right now. Britain is their ally, and since we're going to be on the Catholic side, like I was saying, France is a rival of Austria. They're probably going to join the Protestant side, so it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be, yeah, with Russia and France on the other side. We'll see. Either way, that's that war with Genoa done, ladies and gentlemen. There's a full annex. Oh, Aragon is an ally to Castile. And in fact, it happened right now somehow. I'm just noticing that. 1542. Why would they unally each other? Is it because Aragon became a Grand Republic? Or did Castile get some sort of CB on Aragon? They got a truce with Portugal too? Why? Yeah, I don't know. But that means it would be super easy to fight them. In fact, I just lost my claim on Aragon. That's why I clicked on them and noticed this. So let's spy on them. Now, the Pope has allied Aragon too. I can't make him do it again. Damn, that sucks. We're gonna fight the Pope. It's okay though, because we can easily re-ally him. Okay, I'm getting ready to fight Aragon if you guys haven't seen yet, but yeah. All right, let's go, boys. So our goal in this war is to nab the Balearic Islands. Oh my god, this, you know, when you click on such tiny provinces, our goal is to nab the Balearic Islands, Sardinia, 1 province in Sicily to release Sicily from, and then 1 province over here to release Catalonia and Valencia from. Let's see, Catalonia, yeah. And Valencia, yeah, they both still exist. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and declare right here for Messina, Dragon France. We could also make Sus and the alliance with the Ottomans here. That's nice. I've annexed Montferrat here as well. I don't know how they got there. How did they get there? I guess through Castile, right? No, I really don't get it, and it's honestly kind of embarrassing, because this France sucks right now. They lost 1,000,000 battles versus Aragon here, costing me a ton of war score, man. 8 war score. Look, what are they doing? They had 50k at the start of the war. Usually France is way bigger than that. They're not eating Brittany, of course. They really haven't expanded all that much, boys. But this Aragon is beating them up consistently. So I just opened this screen up right here, and I noticed this after scrolling down. Sell modern ideas. Now, I know Russia needs to, like, modernize and stuff like that if someone is willing to do that, but what does sell our technological and cultural progress with the target and accelerate their modernization process? Do we make money from that somehow? 3 months worth of their income. And they'll gain up to 5 modernization. I mean, it's probably like 20 ducats or something, but whatever. We can do it again, maybe? No. I'm so stupid. Why didn't I release Sicily earlier, bro? I could have always released them from Malta. And now it will be a reconquest. Because look, this is actually really expensive. And by the way, the French AI is pissing me off so much, boys, that I'm tempted to break this alliance with them, man. So incompetent, not doing anything, getting their ass beat the entire game. Look, this war has been going on for 4 years now. Pretty long war for my standards. All they've done is gotten these provinces sieged and unsieged this one and had it re-sieged and lost 1 trillion battles. Like, I'm tempted to break the alliance just on principle, bro. But I can't, not yet. I gotta make them break it with Hungary first. Well, this has been a very unenjoyable and prolonged war for no reason. In that case, I'm not taking this. Might as well save some aggressive expansion here, boys, because I realized I'm too stupid to release Sicily when I should have. And there we go. There's the war with Aragon done. Excellent. So let's go ahead and release Valencia. Let's go ahead and release Catalonia, and something I should have done, honestly, last episode, because that's when we got the knights. Release Sicily, bro. There we go. That's the Sicilian cores. What you call it? Catalonian, Valencian. Okay. But that is significant conquest for us as well, man. I just got all of the entire state of the Tyrrhenian Isles and, of course, the Balearic Islands as well. So, we can go ahead and core those up. And are we close to an empire? Not really. Not really. Still needs to do some more deving. Now, AE with the Catholic guys is pretty high, so we are going to have to lay off of them for a while. Luckily, I did make Zeus break the alliance with Aragon, so as soon as our truce with them is up, we're most likely going to fight Zeus. Another option is the Ottomans. I don't know if this is the right time. It's not. It's not. Hey, what the frick? Finally, man, we're Curia controller. Right. I like that a lot. All right, I went with the dev discount papal thingy, but the next elected pope will have a special relationship with our country. Now, I never actually do this mission, so I don't know what that means, but it's great. And now we can take Academy of the Brand as well for a diplomat and prestige decay minus 2%. So yeah, I like that. There's another branch locked down, man. Really? The only thing that's left to do is this conquest branch down here. Later on, of course, when we form Italy, we're gonna get a brand new mission tree because this is a tall campaign, though. We're not going to be taking Italian ideas. They're really good for conquest, but for playing tall, I much prefer the Tuscan ideas, of course. So yeah, we're going to be Italy with Tuscan ideas. Can't abandon our traditions, boys. Obviously, we're doing more deving all the time. I think everything is pretty much, you know, bumped up. Oh, that's the Balearics, right. But yeah, man, there's not a lot more provinces we can dev, you know, to these optimal-ish levels that I've been doing, stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna have to conquer more, you know, cheaper provinces and stuff. Yeah, a lot of stuff is already at 5 production, which is sort of the minimum value I was going with. Let's take them to 7 now, at least the high value trade good ones. So cheap too. I'm an idiot. I should have gone with Cardinal Spur Institutions because the printing press has spawned and we don't have it. All right, but my truce with Zeus is up. We do need to fight them for like 5 or 6 provinces down here. They are allied to Aragon, and I don't have a claim. Not allied to the Ottomans though. No. And yeah, I did build up a second army. I don't know if I said that already. Doing lots more deving, and we're finally the Tuscan Empire, ladies and gentlemen, and all of these are auto-accepted. Nice. Now we can, I guess, kind of continue with that whole role-play-y type of cultural conversion we've been doing. So let's maybe send, like, Tuscans to inhabit the state of Tunisia. Maybe Sardinians can come down to Kabila. Maybe Sicilians will go to Jerba and Tripolitania later on. Maybe Tuscans can go to here. Obviously, you know, not yet, but whatever we can change. Let's see. So yeah, we can send some guys here, Tuscan guys too, and then these provinces I'll send some Sardinians. There we go, right there. They can't go there just yet, and yeah, later, I guess, when it borders. Tier 9 Gov Reform time. We got Machiavellian Reign. Don't need that. 6 books would be nice for the -5 years of separatism. That's pretty good. What about this? Expand administration cost. That would be nice for a tall sense, I guess, but not really. Leviathan is good for subjects for now, though. Social contract, Heritage, and Heathen provinces don't give any penalties. Nah, I'm gonna go with 6 books for the -5 years of separatism. Oh my god, dude, it took forever to build a spy network on Zeus. Look how slow it is, but finally, let's go ahead and declare on them. This'll reset our truce with Aragon as well. You know, let's call everyone in. Why not? We'll make it quick. It's so simple. France is helping me, right? They can't help Hungary. Alright, claim on Hungary established. Let's go ahead and fight them. We'll call in Austria for no reason. It's literally only 3 provinces, so it really shouldn't be that long. No, not a reconquest, because we don't want that province. It's not in the Ragusa trade node. And there we go. Hungary will already accept. No need to drag it out. That's a war done. And there's another war done. A peace out on Zeus. Perfect, man. Just like that, we've expanded quite a lot. Now, make no mistake, boys, there's still quite a lot of conquest left to go. You know, we gotta fight Aragon 3 times, probably. 1, 2, yeah, most likely 3 wars with Aragon. In fact, they've got stuff up here, so we'll see. You know, 2 wars, maybe even 3 versus Venice. Their provinces are really highly devved. The Pope a couple of times, France a couple of times, the Ottomans a couple of times. So yeah, there's still quite a lot left to go, even though it feels like we're really completing quite a lot of conquest in this one episode. Obviously, like I said in the previous video, unlike grand campaigns so far that they've happened to have 4 episodes, I'm not doing that on purpose. It's just, you know, how long it takes to play the game and do what I need to do. I think this one will get done in 3. Yeah, so this is the middle. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, subscribe for more of this campaign and for more grand campaigns. Oh, how did my guys get stuck here? I can't leave. Ottomans will never give me access, neither will Hungary. Oh, this is horrible, dude. How did this happen, man? We got so much money and manpower that I might as well delete this army and rebuild it, man. This is not the one with professionalism. The other one is, right? Or, well, no, none of them are with professionalism. I guess I stick down. or with a drill, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, freak it, man. We're never gonna get them out. They're just gonna attrition. There we go. That army's gone. You know, I love it when you're rich enough and have enough manpower to be able to afford something like this. Look, aside from the provinces we just conquered from these guys, all of our provinces are at least 10 dev, man, and we're pushing them even further, yo. I like that, man. I like that quite a lot. There we go. Any mill ones that need to be done? Not really. Dude, I might as well start bumping these up to the 6 then, you know, especially if we sort by trade goods and go by the mill trade goods, you know, the ones that give us manpower and stuff like that, or, you know, the ones you build manpower buildings in. Yeah, Austria never reached one of these reforms though, and no religious leagues yet either. The Reformation wasn't that strong this game. Finally, printing press. All right, it's time to get back to wars with Aragon here, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we're going hard against them this episode right here. I was gonna do Venice. Maybe it does make more sense to go Venice first, because their provinces, I mentioned once earlier, they are really highly developed, man. Their province war score cost is like 168. It's not even that. It's the aggressive expansion with the Catholics. But you know what? I like this little focus that we got going on Aragon right now. And yeah, let's do a reconquest. I think we'll get Sicily's scores back first. So for Messina, let's call in France again. Maybe they won't be this incompetent this time. Yeah. Well, lost the papacy. Obviously, it's impossible to keep a hold of that. But also more interesting, Austria isn't the emperor anymore. Oh, I got my guys on their throne. It's actually not the Habsburg, and it's not even a wife, dude. Maximilian I de Medici. You know, I honestly wouldn't want a PU on them this campaign. That's not the style of game we're going for. But you know, spreading our world famous dynasty, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at dynastic. I can never find it. Where the frick is it, man? Political, I guess it's political. Yeah. Yep. You know, we're still in this war. I picked up admin 14 ahead of time because I'm maxing on mill, and we do need to pick up another mill idea group. Now, with the stuff we already got going and that we're gonna have going, man, quantity, sorry, is obviously super powerful because it gives us even more fort maintenance and garrison size, which goes well with the whole word defensive roleplay type stuff, but also, more importantly, because it's really good with trade. Where's the policy with trade? Let me just find it right here. For the plus 15% goods produced, and the one with economic is really good as well, which is, well, actually, I guess they changed that, but also defensive might not be a bad idea here. Fort maintenance and fort defense, attrition for enemies, garrison size. If we pick up trade, the policy with trade as a merchant and trade steering, which we do need another merchant, sure. Economic, I don't know. It's just we're so rich, I feel like we could field way bigger armies than we have. But also, I don't know, the policies with quality are really good too, man. Discipline with economic, infantry combat with innovative, army professionalism and drill gain. You know what? I'm in a dilemma here, but I think we do go quality. All right, we're finally done, man. It's kind of annoying to fight Aragon, I'm not gonna lie, but what do we do right here? So I think we go for Sicily stuff first right here because, you know, it's the most valuable. So I'm just gonna go through here. Let's make them give these back to Sicily, and then Barcelona's their capital, so we make them give this back to Valencia, and actually that's it. That's right. So yeah, in the next war we're gonna give everything back to Catalonia, and then I'm gonna take the rest of these 4 provinces right here, and that'll pretty much be a wrap on the Valencia trade node, man. You know, we don't have all, well, actually it won't. We still need to fight France. Yeah, it's weird how we haven't locked any of them down, and we won't really lock any of them down till the final video. It's just, you know, we're mostly present in all of them. But yeah, that's our first, or well, second war with Aragon done. There's all the Sicilian and Valencian cores back, and if we have the Gov cap, which we do, I think I can annex these boys as well. Nice, I like that a lot, man. Let's go home and dev and build. Well, we're finally back to being fully Catholic. Look at this, man. Number 2 great power in the world. We're so strong, boys. Oh, Ottomans ate up Tunis. They're actually really big this campaign, man. And I can't even see the rest. I know they were expanding in the Timurids. Like, they're up to here. That is them for sure. It just pisses me off because, look, AQ has been here the entire game, and no, they decided to re-ally them. And look how much crown land ownership we have from all that deving, man. It's insane. I think I started this video with like 30 something. I haven't seized once. We have annexed Valencia and Sicily. I love it. Okay, we chilled for long enough, and I think it's time to continue the trend of this episode, boys, by taking out these smaller guys that are around us, you know. So we dealt with Hungary, we dealt with Sus right here. Really, after we deal with Venice and Aragon once again, all that's going to be left for the final episode is the big guys, which is going to be obviously France, Austria and the Ottomans, and of course the Pope. He isn't a big guy, but we don't want to fight him until we can actually form Italy, because we'll get the penalty from owning Rome. Now, we do have all of the provinces necessary to form Italy, but you know what? I think it kind of makes sense to let the Pope stick around until the War of the Protestant League. You know, he'll like us. He'll be like, yo, you boys saved my ass. You know, on the Emperor's side right here, Catholics are the best. This is a war that's definitely for religion and not anything else. But after that, we'll eat them up. Even though if we do take Rome right now, we can form Italy and get rid of the penalty. Either way, enough yapping on. Let's go ahead and fight Venice right here. I'm going to drag everyone in, and let's just see how much we can take, man, with these extremely high-def provinces that we got. No more nations to release from them, so yeah. And there we go. I'll declare for Cremona. And there we go. War is done. Forced Switzerland and Regensburg to go Catholic as well. Let's see. Cremona. Okay, 1680. Not that bad. Can we do this? 75. That's a bit too much. Now, full annexing Venice isn't possible. I think we go 3 now, 3 later, right? They're all pretty much, you know, these two are a lot more depth, so I might as well take Treviso, maybe, and not take, yeah, do something like that, perhaps. Yeah, this is what I think I'm gonna do, man. It is, yeah, I'm not really worried about coalitions or anything at all here, boys. I like conquering slowly, you know, developing those provinces accurately until we get to conquer some more. But also, if I do end up getting coalition by some of these guys, not that I'll declare, it's just that everyone will join it and I have no one to declare on. So, yeah, 3 provinces now, 3 later. I'm satisfied with that. No money, no war apps. Cool, cool. There we go. 3 very good provinces. We'll take the rest later. Of course, now we border Aquileia as well, who's not really Aquileia, it's Aquileia. That's just how I call them. We can annex them as well. Perfect, man. Of course, I am constructing manpower buildings in all of the manpower type provinces, you know, grain, wool, livestock. Not that they're all directly related to like manpower or force limit, but those are generally the provinces you build those types of buildings in. And that's why our max manpower is so huge, man. You know, the Ottomans have given this, all of it, to the Eyalet of Trablusgarb, which is basically Tripoli. And a good thing about Eyalets, man, you can separate piece them. There we go, Aquileia has been full annexed. Let's finally build up the Santa Maria del Fiore up to tier 3. Now what we're waiting for, boys, is pretty much the truce with Aragon to expire, so we fight them again and take everything over here. But that's a wrap on quality as well. With that, we gain army professionalism and drill gain and infantry combat ability. We will take both. I've also put down some new level 3 centers of trade now. As you can see, the role playing I'm doing right here is, you know, Florence is the level 3, you know, the greatest trade center in Genoa. Then I just upgraded Valencia, which is the one in Valencia. I just did Tunis as well, which is going to be the one in Tunis. And I'm not doing anything in Venice. In fact, we just own Verona right here in Mantua most recently, but I'm going to make Venice the level 3 center of trade there. And over here, I think we're probably going to do it with Ragusa. So yeah, for that, I do need 5 merchants though. And we currently only have 3. You can only have as many level 3 centers of trade as you have merchants, you know, the number. Yeah, you know, monarchy's not that fun, man, when you got a 214 in charge, let me tell you that. At least we can do this, huh? Truth be told, I need points more than I need money, and we're full on money, and we're making so much that I might as well bump all of these guys to like 4, man. Hey, our truce with Aragon is up. Nice. Reconquest for Barcelona, dragging all the boys. Let's get it. And with that, we've hit our second to last gov reform. Funnily enough, divine rights, war score cost is nice, but we don't need it. Possible policies +1. Now, with us making so many points and having so many ideas, +1 possible policies actually might be the best thing we can do right here. We don't need this because we're not really blobbing that much and we won't have territories. Gov cap would be nice, but it's really not a problem even though I'm hitting it, because I can always build these right here, which we haven't been building at all. So I think I am gonna go with Kingdom for the People for 4 policies. Huh, we can't take everything here, man. No matter how we do it, whether it's in this screen or whatever, there's no way to take all of the provinces that we want at once. So do I just give Barcelona back to Catalonia because that's what we declared for? And then I take these, and then we'll do the rest of these 3 later. It doesn't matter if I take max or non-max now, because we still got to do 2 wars versus them, right? Or maybe I do something like this, you know, 4 now, 4 later. I think I'm gonna do this. Yeah, it's just white piece Sus, and then declare a phony war on Sus, white piece Aragon as fast as possible, so we bring down our truce. Alright, yeah, white piece Sus, and I'm gonna take this from Aragon. Cool. But with all that said, our truce with Venice is also up, and I think we should be able to fully wipe them out here. Yeah, their province war score cost us 60. There we go. Final war versus Venice, ladies and gentlemen. If only someone was still here to where we could finish off northern Italy, but France has held on for Saluzzo for so long, man. Was annexed by France 1502. Yeah, so they've had it for about 80 years now. Yeah, let's go ahead and declare on Venice. They're reformed as well, which is like whatever, doesn't matter to me too much. I'll drag in the big guys once again because I can't be bothered to siege out, you know, these OPMs. So there we go. I really don't get this France, man. They got 77k troops supposedly. Who the frick is Gojiji Wininiwag? I have never heard of Gojiji Nininiwag. That's a province, I guess. And they're not even that big in the colonial game, man. This is the first time I'm taking a look at the renewal. Look, now if they had someone huge like the 13 colonies, I can understand it, but it's only like French Canada. That sucks ass, dude. They're in Africa a little bit too, but... Huge Ottoman-Russian war, though. Alright, war with Venice is done. The reason I waited till December 31st is if I full annex these guys, I'm actually gonna get coalition for real this time. Obviously, Austria, Switzerland, and like an OPM or two in there can't coalition me because I'll have truces with them. But if I peace out now, AE will tick down. And even though coalition will still form, like 2 or 3 of these guys might not be in it. So, there we go, man. There's a full annex on Venice. Is this too aggressive? Perhaps. But, there we go. We're done with that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we should be able to confront the Lombards. We're going to permaclaim on Venice and Liguria. And, Adriatic access because we own all the provinces in the Venezia area. There we go. Shipbuilding time and cost. Now all we gotta do to complete the Tuscan mission tree is to end Genoese competition, but really in this case it's French competition. And yeah, I don't know when we're gonna be doing that. Maybe if I release like Genoa, but no one has a core there. I could release Savoy and beg for provinces back, but it doesn't make sense. They have too many cores. Okay, cool coalition me here. Maybe not that many people, huh? Right, I have been coalitioned by some minor nations, man. Really nothing too annoying. I think it's gonna grow once we finish off Aragon, but no big deal. Yeah, it's just a bunch of small HRE guys, which is like whatever. At this point, I've also built up the army to the max to combat with, so 29, 429. Yeah, we're running full stacks, baby, and it's not even 1600. There we go. Let's split them so they don't attrition. Okay, so my truce with Sus is up. Now we're gonna declare on them only to drag Aragon in, so we can white piece Aragon. So I don't basically wait until 1597 for my truce with Aragon to expire. Instead, I'll wait till like 94 or 5 or something like that. Anything that can help, you know? So let's deck for nothing here. Peaced out Aragon. My truce with them is until June 94. Perfect. Perfect. Now, while we're chilling here and just waiting to white piece Sus whenever we can, I'm thinking about the opportunities we're going to have after this, right? For next episode. Like I said, we're only going to have the big boys to fight, which is France, Austria, and the Ottomans. Now, normally, with this alliance right here, we'd want to go against the Ottomans first, right? Because they're the biggest, right? I need the help of the allies. But France wouldn't really help me, right? They're in debt currently, but, you know, they did help. And it's mostly because of attitude. But, yeah, I guess we'll have to examine it, man. Austria, it seems like, is the last of the 3 big guys we're going to fight. It's either going to be Ottomans, then France, then Austria, or France, then Ottomans, then Austria. And with the Ottomans, with the reconquest of these Serbian cores, which actually, man... They might have expired now, but they will expire in 1623. All of them? No, not all of them, just on these non-Serbian culture ones. Yeah, we'll have to go pretty early versus these guys, man. They should be falling off any time now, but they're absolutely huge. Number 1 GP in the world, obviously. More powerful than me, for sure. And their army is just absolutely huge, man. Right? Let's see, my ledger bugged out, but yeah, look at their army is huge. I didn't realize Austria had a bigger army than me, though. And I'm done with Sus. Cool. Now let's wait until 94 to fight Aragon, and I think that's where we're gonna call it for episode 2. I'm pretty satisfied with it, though, man. Lots of nice conquest and lots of really, really good deving and building. Just bumped a bunch of these super poor provinces up to like 15. I love it. We do still have some duds, like, let's say these 2, Togut and Bosnia for sure. And how is Bosnia, man? We've had it for such a long time. I guess they've never come up in this, like, dev order that I keep sorting in, whether it's cost or dev. But, yeah, Togut and Bosnia are duds. These up to here, the 14 dev ones, will tolerate. Everything that's 15 and above, I consider excellent. Everything 20 and above, it's like... What the frick are we talking about here? And then we only got like 4 provinces which are above 32, which are above 40, you know. So, yeah, interesting, man. Bergamo, it can always go up to 30. Let's actually bump Bergamo and Siena just so they're not sad. I was hoping to change these to Maltese, man, because, you know, tiny island culture goes to tiny islands, but it's just not possible. They need to border each other. I can convert this to Maltese later. I feel like they gotta come up with better names than Cosimo, man. This is like the third one already. Like, it's like the Charleses and the Louis and the, you know, and the Fernandos. Let me guess, Henry. No, it's actually Elizabeth 665, but they got a Medici heir? How? Oh my god, dude. So my dynasty spread to Austria. Austria's with Britain, and then from Austria it spread to Britain. This is like some Italian Habsburg level stuff, you know? Hey, there it is, man. The Evangelical Union, finally. Now, the only thing is Bohemia's the emperor right now, right? So there we go. The leagues have officially been formed. Oh man, it's gonna be an awesome start to the next video, boys, let me tell you. So Bohemia is the leader right now. Lubeck is the leader of the Protestant side. I hope they'll grow, man. I don't want these leagues to be mid, you know. I want an actual massive war, but yeah, we'll see how it develops. You know, everyone joins pretty soon, so I'll tell you guys in just a couple of months. Okay, some more guys have joined. Austria's on the Catholic side, which is you know, something I did want to happen, and I was hoping they'd be the emperor, man, but no. So this is what it's looking like. Protestant side way weaker. I have to join the Catholic side. The only thing is, I hope big enough guys join the Protestant side to where they'll actually be tempted to declare, you know? Otherwise, there's no way we can trigger it, right? If Russia, Ottomans, France end up on this side, it'll be great, but just Bohemia is just not that powerful, man. You know, Poland and Hungary might go Protestant side just because they're rival to Bohemia. I don't know if France, Ottomans, and Russia are getting involved. It doesn't look like it right now. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The truce with Aragon is up. Sousse has been shrunk a little bit because Portugal fought them. Castile was in that war too, so I was like, oh, please don't take any provinces here. I don't want to have to fight Castile if I don't need to. They're in a coalition against me too, in fact, so I gotta declare on Aragon immediately, or else they'll coalition me as well. Let's wrap up these final 3 provinces, and it honestly might be faster to not call anyone in this time. And there we go. Aragon will already accept this. No need to drag it out any further, boys. And just like that, we've conquered everything we wanted to from them. So this portion right here is also done. But yeah, now we can start not coring those up. In fact, we should annex Catalonia right here, and I think that'll be a pretty good place to leave it off for episode 2 right here. We did accomplish quite a lot, man. Pretty much finished off everyone in Italy, went hard against Aragon, pushed into here a little bit, took a couple of provinces from Hungary, which is very nice, and just like I planned, and luckily it did come out like that. Actually, we can take tax 16 in all categories here, which is something we do want to do. We are only left with the big guys and the Pope for the next episode, so we'll see how it develops here versus the Ottomans. If I can get both of these guys to help, I'll go for the Ottomans first. If not, frick France. Me and Austria will fight France first, and then yeah, it'll be France, Ottomans, maybe twice the Ottomans, probably twice with France too, man, because they do own quite a lot down here as well. One war with Austria, and then we'll chop down the Pope a couple of times. Obviously, we want to do him only after we can form Italy. That is now, but I sort of wanted to do it before, or I mean after this, even though he isn't involved because, you know, it's the whole Catholic thing. So yeah, now we did have a coalition last time due to some expansion, but I guess all of those guys have just left. So yeah, coalition has disbanded. It's really not a problem anymore. No matter who we fight, these guys won't really be that interested in what we have to take, unless we go hard on the Pope. But I'm thinking we chill with the Pope. Ooh, lots of soldiers, households we can put down in all of the grain and livestock provinces. Nice. But yeah, if you're wondering, man, we did flip to a monarchy last time because I thought it makes sense, you know, because we're doing a sort of a role play type campaign as well. You know, the Medicis have been in charge of Florence and Tuscany this whole time, so we got Emperor Cosimo II right here. It only made sense from a roleplay perspective to flip to a monarchy once we got that event, and this is how far along we are in the gov reforms, pretty close to our final one. This is where we are in the ideas, innovative, Pluto, infrastructure, and quality filled out, and the mission tree is pretty much done. The only thing we need to do is end the Genoese competition by taking Nizza here from France, which of course we will be doing. And when we do form Italy, we won't be taking Italian ideas. We will get the Italian mission tree, but sticking with Tuscan ideas with our playing tall roots right here, I feel like is the right way to go. And ladies and gentlemen, the War of the Protestant League has started, which is absolutely insane. It's crazy because you don't even get a pop-up for it, but Saxony did feel bold enough to declare on Bohemia, actually, who is the current emperor. It's not even Austria. They haven't been for a while now, but these guys are actually stupid. Why did they feel like they're more powerful, man? we outnumber them in infantry, we outnumber them in cav, we outnumber them in artillery. Is it because Bohemia was involved in something else? They weren't. They weren't doing anything else, but Saxony still felt bold enough to declare. All right, well, I mean, we're definitely going to be winning this, boys. So there we go. There's our little bonus goal about to be accomplished pretty soon. I am definitely going to participate in this. I'm not just going to stand around. Obviously, Russia and the Kalmar Union here, which actually it's not the Kalmar Union, it's Denmark and Norway, and then Sweden is separate, is going to be the most annoying to piece out. Russia is actually absolutely huge for 1595, actually having a good game. And yeah, no other real big powers participating in this. We don't have Britain, we don't have France, we don't have Castile/Spain, no Ottomans, no Hungary, no Poland. So a relatively small one, even on the map, if you don't look at Russia. But yeah, boys, let's get involved. And you know, I think the right thing to do here is to become defender of the Catholic faith. We will defend our brethren. Not a very strong reformation at all this campaign, I gotta say. Yeah, war's going all right, man. Lots of battles currently converging in the Teutons right here. Ansbach and Dortmund have just been pieced out. We've pretty much sieged down everyone over here. We can see Bohemia sieging Dithmarschen. No one's really focusing on Denmark, but no big deal. My other army is in Kolberg, and with this army, I'm walking in to do some battles. I might even go push with this one in Russia. Now, you guys know, because the AI is incompetent really with piecing out, that they're gonna push this to like 100% until only Saxony is left. So, you know, some of these guys have been sieged down for so long, man, because, you know, they were right here. Everyone ganged up on them, but they haven't been pieced out. Bohemia will be super slow in piecing out these small guys. They're gonna want to fully 100% occupy Russia, then piece them out. They're gonna want to fully siege these guys to piece them out until only Saxony is left. So even though, you know, from a player perspective, if we were the Emperor or the main Protestant guy, it will be super easy to end this war. Just knock out all of these guys, and then, you know, you get like whatever on Saxony and you piece them out. But, you know, this war started 1595. A player could have it end 1599. The AI is gonna let it go for like 10-15 years. But a nice way to start this third episode, man. I can say I'm digging it. You know, a little break from the conquering and the deving and the building to get involved in an actual huge war before we get involved into an even bigger one. The Ottomans are absolutely massive this game, man. Really, really powerful. One of the strongest Ottomans I've seen recently, but they have downsized their army, and they don't have some annoying allies, which, and if France helps me out in this, which I don't think they will, the distant war and attitude, yeah. Austria should, though. Austria should help me out, and I will need help, man, because, you know, our force limit ain't that big, and we're pretty far off from taking quantity or whatever, so we'll see, boys. It's gonna be tough. But, of course, we can't let too much time go by without deving our cheapest provinces, you know, or, sorry, our least dev provinces. Look, they're actually not, you know, all of these other ones, they start off with 13, man. So, you know, let's pour some mill points into these poorer provinces and elevate them. Hell yeah. And look, we're actually at 100% on Saxony. They can be pieced out, but that's just how stupid the AI is, man. They don't want to separate piece Regensburg, Nuremberg, Stettin, Friesland, or whatever. They can go ahead and declare Catholic official right now. They're just not doing it. It's just how it is. Oh well. Well, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. There we go. Saxony accepted peace with their former enemies, Bohemia. So they cede a bunch of land, and Catholic becomes the official faith of the Holy Roman Empire. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Emperor is triumphant. We've helped the Emperor, which I thought was going to be Austria, but is actually Bohemia, make Catholic official, and that's a bonus goal accomplished. Excellent, man. I'm so glad we got that out of the way, because, you know, when the leagues formed last time, and I mentioned this at the start of the video, why did Saxony declare? I still don't know. Did they, I don't know, did they think Russia on their side with all this manpower is gonna help? No. Hell yeah, Catholic Empire, baby. And boys, let me know what you think about this, man. I'm thinking about doing Russia for my next grand campaign, you know, back to a sort of grand conquest one where we're pretty much gonna conquer like everything from the Russia region down to here, and then maybe we go like this: Pontic Steppe, Caucasia, Central Asia, Mongolia to Manchuria, or maybe I even go for Anatolia, Caucasia, Persia, and Khorasan, even grander than that. You know, something like this, colonize the entirety of Cascadia, you know, convert it all to Orthodox, something like that, like super grand conquest, Orthodox campaign. I feel like we haven't done a massive blubber in that style. I know we did like the Roman Empire and France conquering all of Europe and stuff like that, but I feel like this is like truly super manpower focused, you know, huge armies and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my thinking for my next grand campaign, man. Russia, probably a 4-parter. It's gonna be. The only thing I'm debating on is whether to go for Anatolia, Caucasia, Persia, and Khorasan too, or stop the border sort of here, you know? Just like that. So yeah, let me know what you think about Russia for the next grand campaign. I'm also planning to do Austria and the Mamluks and maybe Sweden eventually. I know we're keeping it super Europe-centric right now, but, you know, I feel like with EU5 coming around in like, I don't know, a year or something like that, that we're truly running out of time to do the big guys in EU5 and you guys, in EU4, sorry, and you guys really seem to be enjoying these grand campaigns a lot. So yeah, let me know what you think. And if it's not Russia, tell me who else you'd like to see out of the big European guys. Now, the thing with fighting the Ottomans here, man, and it's gonna be extremely difficult, is I'm more powerful than all my allies, right? Even though I'm not that big, you know, France, only 80k troops, Austria isn't the emperor, only 77k, and the Ottomans with 245k, and they haven't started falling off yet. They will in a couple of decades. Is how do we fight them, man? If I put one army up here and one army over here, you know, I can sort of try and hold them off at Alexandria here, for example, and with this other army, I can try and hold them off in Constantinople by taking all of the Balkans, but they'll still be able to pour in from here. You know, they're gonna come up from down here. It's gonna be so tricky, man. So, I don't know, France would probably never help in this war. Distant war attitude, you know, maybe I can make them try and dislike the Ottomans, you know, reduce opinion and stuff like that, but I don't think that'll work, man. We're gonna have to give it a shot, though. We're gonna have to give it a shot. Stop! If you're enjoying the final part of this Florence to Tuscany to Italy grand campaign, why not subscribe? You'll also stay up to date with the future campaigns that I might do. Future grand campaigns, that is. You can also suggest them in the comments below. Thank you. Alright, I did make them dislike them with that. Now it's distant war, but this thing, the distant war lies sometimes, man, because once the other guys get in the war, like we in Austria, they might not consider it distant anymore, but it's just too risky. You know, I could declare reconquest right here and then drag in Austria, but I'm still not sure if France would join. Even if we ask them to prepare for war, I think it would take them to like 79, and it'd still be 79-83, but we'll see. Either way, we're not ready. Austria's not ready. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the strat. Just wait, bide our time, do the Ottomans first. Once we're done with the Ottomans, break our alliance with France and go for France. We could, of course, try and go for the Pope first, but what use would that be? Like, taking all of this isn't gonna make us that much stronger. I'm not taking Italian ideas either way, so... And Catalonia's been annexed. And it's our final gov reform time. I'm just gonna go with legislative houses for +1 free policies. I think with that and with innovative, man, we got like 3 free ones. It's finally university time, which of course is excellent for playing tall. Minus 20% local dev discount, and it doesn't cost a building slot. So we're gonna be putting them down everywhere. And look at this, man. From all the deving, we have 99.089 crown ownership, and everyone's still super happy and they love me. Of course, we don't care about absolutism this campaign, boys, at all, because we're not blobbing. It won't really help in any war, so I'm not even going to think about it at all. But yeah, let's put down universities, baby. The smartest nation in the world, too. Oh, well, this is not good at all. Austria broke the alliance with me, but why, man? I like to rival once my provinces they want to grab. Okay, that's who we're fighting first, then. It sucks because we do have the Medicis over there, and it's from a roleplay perspective, it's like the family fighting the family. But hey, when has that ever stopped Europeans going to war? So I think we also well, I thought they would be here too because they did have a Medici heir from Austria, but I guess not. You know what? I'm also gonna break my alliance with the Pope, man. There we go. Why am I still there? I shouldn't be there. There we go. We're gonna go for him too. So I guess it's Austria, Pope, maybe Ottomans, and then France, or either France and then the Ottomans. And the age of absolutism is upon us. The Pope's provinces are also extremely devved up, so we will need to pummel this guy for quite a while before we take everything. Okay, so my truces with Austria and the Pope are up, and I've thought about this, boys. I'm actually gonna go for the Pope first here, man, because his provinces are so devved, and we'll have to fight him multiple times, whereas it's only one war versus Austria, so I'd rather, you know, deal with the Pope than wait for the truce and fight Austria in the meantime than do the other way around. So, yeah, let's take Rome, boys. We will officially be able to form Italy after that, which means we won't have the penalty for owning Rome. Sure, because we are Catholic, you know, these guys will dislike us and whatnot, but it's something we do have to do. So, there's a declaration on the Pope, ladies and gentlemen. Great relations and mill access. Okay, let me cancel mill access. Send him a scornful insult. Well, we still have absolutely excellent relations, but it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and declare for Rome. Bohemia is defender of the faith, so I am gonna drag in France right here to help me deal with Bohemia and Castile, even though Bohemia is my ally. There we go, boys. Let's take Rome. Oh. Right. France is absolutely useless. Not only do they got only 83k, but they're probably... And I thought these idiots were gonna help me with the Ottomans. Good thing I put up that third army, bro. I'm gonna have to deal with everyone myself. And France is just gonna cost me war score. Man, this was an annoying ass war. Castile was the least of my problems, man. It was like these minor Bohemia allies because the Pope is in the HRE, but I can only take 2 provinces for now, so I guess we're gonna do like 4 wars versus the Pope. It's like 2, and then whenever I get access to Alençon, I'll get that. But yeah, it's just way too much AE to be taking anymore. It'll get these guys in a coalition, it'll stop me from fighting Austria, so we gotta be patient right here. Just Rome and Terracina from the Pope. And there we go. That's that war with him done. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we core up Rome right here, we'll be able to form Italy. You know, it's time for a third non-mill idea group right here. And honestly, I don't know what to take, man. We could go trade. The thing is, we don't need the 2 extra merchants from trade along with the other one we're going to get from a policy. Economic would be pretty good. You know, the modifier things and the construction and the goods produced and stuff like that. And the policies aren't bad, man. Discipline with quality. Tax with Pluto. The thing is, the policies with trade are better. Yeah, we can get good, global trade power, goods produced, trade efficiency again, a merchant, regiment discounts, interest per annum. Let's go trade. Why not? And ladies and gentlemen, these 2 provinces have officially been cored up, which means I'm gonna... Okay, I have a truce with the Emperor. I can't get them out of the HRE, but what we can do is form the Italian nation, and there's another goal accomplished. So, we had the goal to form Tuscany, that's done. We had the goal to form Italy, that's done. The other goal of the War of the Protestant League is done. Now the only thing that remains is to conquer all of these trade nodes that we set out to do. And we don't fully own any of them, is the funniest part. But we will not abandon our roots because we are staying with the Tuscan ideas, which are excellent for playing tall. However, we did get the absolutely awesome Italian mission tree. Even though I didn't finish the Tuscan one, that whole Genoese mission really wasn't that big of a deal. But let's see the missions we can take. So first, we are rightful heirs, various perma-claims, and we get to choose whether to be Roman claimants, or we unlock the Roman ambition, or are up to Roman new age for Italy, government naming. Okay, so since we don't care about, you know, being the true heirs of the Roman guys, and we get the Roman ambition, we don't want to do that. We will get a more tacit approach. New age for Italy, yearly absolutism, max absolutism, and power projection. Excellent. So that's that top part done. Now we got to adapt our military, 100 mil points, and we get to choose whether to merc or regular army focus. We're going to regular army focus. We've continued the Renaissance, which means Lucca gets some awesome modifiers and we gain some points. Then we've unified regional economies. Selling titles will give us admin points, and every own province loses autonomy. So I think those were the only missions we could take, man. These are really, the Italian missions are really like geared towards massive conquest and forming the Roman Empire. So not a lot of these will be helping us out in our game. But, you know, it's still nice to have and take some additional extra modifiers. So, yeah, let's go ahead and state up Lazio. Wait, how did I join the HRE? Yeah, why did I join the HRE? What? I don't get that. Well, this does bump us back down to a duchy. Oh, no, we're still an empire. What? I don't get it. How does that happen? Is it because we took Rome and it's in the HRE? Is it because of what? I mean, this is good, actually, boys, because we're in the HRE. Let me let a month take over and see if we're still an empire. Yeah, we are still an empire, so we didn't, you know, get bumped back down. Let's check that modifier of being Italian and being in the HRE. Oh, that's not it, right? Yeah, that's not it. It should be a bad one. Counter-reformation. No, it's not that. Okay, so this is good. That means when we fight Austria next time, we won't face Bohemia again, who's the emperor. And when we fight the Pope again, it's the same thing. We once again won't face Bohemia, so we're back in. We're back in, and we can even be elected. Dude, that's a way to get force limit and more manpower. And Bohemia, the current emperor, is willing to vote for us. Boys, I think we've just set out to do something new that I didn't expect at all. We left the HRE in like episode 1, but let's ally the electors. Alright, I'm already allied to Bohemia. I've linked with Colm, Trier, and the Palatinate, but I think I'm also gonna go for Brandenburg here, just so I have 4 non-Bohemia guys. And now it's gonna be tough for them to vote for me, because I'm Italian and not German, but we can always give it a shot. Now, with all that done, I think it's time we go for Austria, man. I'm just gonna declare for Trieste right there. We're gonna drag in France and Bohemia. The only thing we want is these 4 provinces right here in Venice. Let's go. France is really dragging us down here again, man. I'm done being allied to these guys. Like, they're so bad this game, it's not even funny. Okay, there we go. Austria is willing to accept. The biggest problem in this war was Britain and their colonies being involved, so they held back a lot of war score from us, and of course France is sucking so much. But there we go, man. The war with Austria is done. There's all of that state, and yeah. Finally, the first... Oh, no, I was gonna say the first trade node will be fully conquered, but no, the Pope still has 2 provinces in Venice, so... you know, at least after such a long time, we've connected our Balkan holdings with our Italy holdings, and there's another mission. Take the littoral. And, yeah, further permaclaims, man. Let's core these up, and, France, it's time to ditch these guys, man, because, they're pissing me off. Okay, I'll fight France whenever the truce with them is up. Now we're gonna rotate between, the Pope and France, I think. And if we can find, when to declare on the Ottomans, Jesus, they're so big. They're actually so big. I've also reached my little own personal goal of putting a level 3 center of trade in all of our trade nodes. So we got Venice, we got Valencia, we got Tunis, we got Ragusa, and now I've just bumped up Venice. I was... What? I didn't even invest. Now I got this one, the AE Impact one, but actually it would be useful for the Pope. Alright, truce with the Pope is up. Let's go in against him for 2 more provinces. Good relations again. Frick my life. Man, Brittany, these assholes, they're in every war and they're so annoying. Whatever, let's declare for, I don't know, it doesn't matter, Urbino? It's their capital, actually, right? Let's not go for Urbino then. Frick, it doesn't matter. Okay, the war is done. Unlike previous wars, Spain was actually annoying this time, but it is kind of my fault because I didn't station troops over here. But what we're gonna do with the Pope, man, is take these 3 provinces. I could take all of these, but we still have to fight them again for Avignon, whether they own it or not, because it's in the Genoa trade node. So that is what I'm gonna do. That's the peace out with the Pope. And there we go, just 2 more provinces to conquer from him. Now, these late game wars, man, they're turning into a bit of a slog with these level 5 and 4 forts that are currently up. And in fact, bastions are coming right up to all of these guys. Of course, will be upgrading their forts. The only thing I'm a little satisfied about is that the Ottomans don't really do that when it's time to upgrade forts. As you can see, man, they've deleted a lot of forts in the Balkans. Only Salonik and level 1 Constantinople are there, and everything else that they own is level 2, so it's good. The Ottomans don't do that because they're kind of poor and stuff like that, and you know, they're supposed to technologically decline. So at this point, my armies are stronger than theirs, or maybe not, I don't know. They got quality and quantity. I've got Pluto, which doesn't really do much, and quality, so... And it's gonna be a while before we get to our next mail idea group, so I don't know, man. It's their manpower that worries me, right? It's gonna be... The war with them is gonna be long. They're allied to this big Somalia that was formed by Adal too, so I don't know. And look, everything is stated, man. Everything is stated that they have. These guys are nutty this game, bro. And I haven't seen like any of those events where like Ottoman Decadence or the Pashas or whatever, or the Janissaries, so... We'll see, man. We might have to be the ones that start their collapse. Actually, Austria's back to being the emperor. When did they get re-elected, bro? Everyone was voting for me. And everyone is voting for me. I never had, like, no heir. Oh, actually, I did just get an heir. I guess it was during the point I had no heir. Weird. Oh, our capital moved automatically to Rome when we formed Italy. I thought it wasn't automatic. A really good thing to do here would be to wipe out the Pope while we're the Curia controller, because sometimes, very rarely, these guys do not give him a province that he doesn't spawn back. In that case, you can just keep being elected in perpetuity without, you know, the Pope getting involved by investing points as he usually does. Either way, during the last war with the Pope, I did take these 2 missions right here. Now I can take another one, which is Alpine Defenses. Okay, expand the fortifications, skill 3, fort defense guy. Sure. Do we want to do that? Expand the fortifications. That's a noble's privilege, I think. I think we just get rid of strong duchies, man. It's not really necessary, or is it? Whatever. Let's give them increased fortifications. We are doing like a defensive type thing as well. Only garrison size? I thought it was for fort defense as well. Freak that. Or actually, it is. Every one province with ramparts and with a fort. Fort defensiveness, garrison size. Sure. But yeah, man, with all that said, I think it's time to hit France. Let's go ahead and hit them for Nizza right here. I'm going to aim to connect my provinces. We'll probably need 2 wars with them as well because of aggressive expansion. So let's drag in Poland, Bohemia, Brandenburg, Cologne, Trier, and let's hit them. All right, so just wrapped up trade ideas right here. I took all of these other policies, you know, global trade power, trade efficiency, the additional merchant, put the merchants in Champagne and in Alexandria, so we're making more bank from trade now. Also, man, what I did was I noticed we could like almost take everything we needed from France. So what I did was I revoked clerical education and the integration policy, which bumped up our absolutism, and then I increased it from like 32 or 33, whatever it was, to this by strengthening government and harsh treatmenting. And now we can take everything we want from France in a single war. It is quite a lot of aggressive expansion, and I will get coalitioned, and we will get over 100 overextension, but I think it's worth it just to not fight France again. So after we're done with this, we'll wait a little bit for a truce with the Pope to expire. We'll hit the Pope, and then we'll have everything we need over here, and then we'll only need like, well, more than one war, I think, to take everything we need from the Ottomans, but it has to be done. They are getting some rebels right now too, so they might be in that era where they're weak. It's just gonna be tough. Train of thought, 400 splendor. Maintaining flowering of the Renaissance will only require to be ahead of time in any tech. Okay. And France is willing to accept. So that's everything we need from them. Everything they own in the Genoa and in the Valencia trade nodes. And now, officially, ladies and gentlemen, we have everything we want in at least one trade node, and it's Valencia. And Venice too, actually. And Venice too, I forgot about that. So we only need 2 more provinces in Genoa, and then half of Ragusa and Tunis. But I like that. Let's core all of this up. We're gonna get rebel bombed a little bit over here, but it's not a problem. Let's bring these boys home. All right, it's actually the next day for me, boys, and my truce with the Pope is up. I thought about this when I did it earlier. I made them break various alliances with smaller guys. I thought they could potentially ally bigger guys because of that, and that's exactly what they did. They allied Hungary and Austria, they've re-allied Brittany and Geneva, and they're guaranteed by France. So this war with the Pope right now is going to be super annoying. I don't think it's going to be really that bad because all of these guys are involved in different wars, as you can see here, but it's just going to take way longer than it needs to. Either way, it's something to get done, and it's a nice warm-up for our final war, or final 2 wars, which are going to be versus the Ottomans. So, yeah, let's go ahead and declare. There's our deck for Spoleto. Not even going to call them Brandenburg. They're just going to tank my war score, and they're 3 provinces big. So, let's get it. Second to last nation we're going to fight. Well, the war is done, and would you believe me if I told you Brittany was the hardest one to piece out? Like, Hungary was easy, man. We just walked straight to Pest. Austria was easy, too, because they were involved with Bohemia, which they actually won. France is a pushover the entire game, but Brittany and Geneva, man, these assholes with the level 7 fort, and then Brittany that I had to go through France to get to them. Either way, war with the Pope is done, ladies and gentlemen. There's Avignon, there's Spoleto, and with that, we officially have all of Valencia, all of Genoa, and all of Venice. Perfect. The only thing that's left to do, ladies and gentlemen, in this campaign is to take over the entirety of the Tunis trade node from the Ottomans up to here, and then the entirety of the Ragusa trade node as well. Now this, I've said it many times, this video is going to be super annoying. Now they're in this war with a tiny Ethiopia right now. Maybe they're helping Somalia. Yes, they are helping Somalia. Portugal is involved in that as well. They have 500,000 troops, dude. No manpower, sure, but you know, the way I think we beat them here, man, is obviously our armies. I think we keep these 3, you know, full stacks right here, you know, full back row stacks. And then I think we go like way over force limit with mercs that are just gonna, you know, fall back and siege everything that's behind the main armies, which are gonna push forward. I think I bring in like 2 armies here, honestly, or no, 1 army here and a couple of merc stacks and 2 armies here. The only reason I considered putting 2 here is because I think their armies might be over here, so they might walk over here instead of over here. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think we go ahead and core these provinces up now, just like that. Take tech 20, 20, and 20. There we go. Now we got the swivel cannon or howitzer. I think we're gonna go swivel cannon. Combat width did increase to 34, so let's bump this up to 34, 4, 34, just like that. And you know, we'll bring these other guys in, drill a little bit more. I don't think we need to fortify anything else. We got level 6 forts everywhere, so it should be pretty hard for them to push into us. No allies, I don't think. Yeah, Poland actually would come in with the promise of land. Because of attitude, they wouldn't come in. I think I should have favors with Poland by now. Yeah, so I'll make them reduce opinion and prepare for war, and Poland should help out. There might be a little bit of help. Sure, 67k and 81k. Actually, they'll be of quite a lot of help. Shout out Poland, man. At this point, I'm also gonna start my golden era. The Ottomans have a pretty massive fleet as well. Combat width is currently 60, so maybe we put down like 260 stacks of galleys, which actually we already do have. There we go. We can go ahead and do that. And then combat width on heavies should be, yeah, it's 3 actually engagement width, so 20 heavies. Let's put down 20 heavies. The only thing I kind of wanted to happen before we fight the Ottomans is me getting elected HRE Emperor, but it didn't happen. Austria got re-elected, as you all know. All right, folks, everything is ready. There's only one more mission we can take right here. Complete the Risorgimento, which gives us some very nice bonuses until the end of the game. Super powerful mission. Dev discount, goods produced, prosperity, diplorep, yearly legitimacy, and there's the Roman question as well. So we gain some other nice bonuses, and that's that. Everything is ready. We've got a discipline and a morale of navies guy up. We got this army down here. We got these 2 stacks over here. Then we got the 2 main armies, the 20 heavies right here with the Il Medici War Galleon in charge and the backups ready to help out with these naval battles. Everything that can be taken right here has been taken, especially the morale stuff. So there we go. We're gonna do that. We are Miltech 20. They are Miltech 20 as well. But at this point, my troops should be more powerful than them. They've got quality and quantity. I've got Pluto and quality. They're, of course, a little bit better. I, of course, have a lot more manpower. So let's go ahead and declare on the Ottomans, ladies and gentlemen. Poland and Lithuania will help us out. So that does even the odds a little bit. And in fact, that puts us pretty, you know, neck and neck with manpower and force limit and stuff like that. We are gonna go ahead and do a reconquest for that province right there. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time for either our final or our second to last war, both of which are gonna be versus the Ottomans. Let's get it. So this is who I'm fighting. Let me take a breather here. Okay, so far it's looking very easy. We've already pieced out Suez. These guys are on auto siege. These guys sieged everything down over here so we can push them over to Alexandria, crush them in naval battles, crush them in army battles as well, so we're vastly more powerful. Salonik and Constantinople dropped like flies because there's no fort in Constantinople, and Salonik's only a level 2. And like I said earlier, man, the Ottomans don't really update their forts like the European nations do. As you can see, all of these guys are upgrading every single fort. Even Britain is doing ones over in Britain which aren't necessary. So am I, obviously, to keep up. Russia isn't doing it either. So really, these big blobber guys don't ever focus on the forts, and this is of course supposed to simulate the Ottomans like falling off and stuff like that. So yeah, there's another mission in the meantime. Economic liberalism, we can do that. Oh, nice, more dev discounts and stuff like that. You know what, let's go with that one right there. There you go. Let's keep pushing, boys. This might not be as bad as it seems. Frick it, let's get the boy in. Yeah, man, you have no idea how quickly I'm sieging these forts. I don't know if there's a way to see occupied. Yeah, I just occupied it today, but when did I walk in? Like, I don't know. I'll try and keep up of a siege next time. Yeah, I'll show you on Sham or something like that. But oh, actually, these guys can go ahead and peace out Somalia. Peace out Somalia. There's another mission in the meantime. Perfect the Gallius. Very nice. So yeah, Gallius force limit, Navy tradition, ship durability. Sure, I'll go with that. I don't even have them, by the way. Or I don't know. I'm looking at the peace deal now, man, and we can almost take everything we need. I'm just missing Crete right here, which, you know what that means, man. We gotta raise our max absolutism a little bit. It's 50 right now, but we can go ahead and take away strong duchies, for example. Now it's 60, and all I need to do is like harsh treatment a couple of times and stuff like that. You know, strengthen government, harsh treatment a couple of more times, and we will be able to take Crete. Crete right here. Right now I'm at 97. Crete is 5% war score. So yeah, we won't need that much more absolutism. So everything can be done in this one single war, ladies and gentlemen. After that, we'll only wrap it up by annexing Serbia right here, building a couple of more buildings for the show off, and we'll get to time lapse and stuff like that. But boys, I'm gonna be real with you. This is easier than it was fighting France or the Pope or Austria or any of those guys. I don't know what I was thinking, man. It's just their inflated force limit kind of worried me. I knew our armies were stronger, but I really thought they'd put up a bigger fight than this. I got these guys on auto siege, these guys on auto siege, these guys on auto siege, and I'm just walking around with these 2 other guys manually. So yeah, there we go. There's Bohemia, and I'm actually maxing out here. I just got Miltech 21. You know what we do with these other provinces, man? We dev. we dev for super cheap. We don't want to have any province below 15 dev at the end, man. We don't want to have any of those. Just pieced out Kilwa and we can confirm thalassocracy. Wow. A rare decision you can take right there, but it's always welcome. It's always welcome. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Ottoman are already willing to accept, and absolutism has grown enough to where we can take every single thing we want in this war. So let's do another confirmation. Yep, that's all of Tunis. As far as I can tell, that is all of Ragusa and all of the Serbian Korsback. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, there's our final war in this Florence to Tuscany to Italy grand campaign. Done. Feels good. All right, there's another mission that we can take right there, which is across the Pindus. Oof, we let the Pindus talk tonight, baby. Africa, whatever. And let's go ahead and core these provinces up. All of the ones that we can. Integrate Serbia right here as soon as we get relations up with them. Rebuild our forts, you know, do a little more deving in the provinces that the Ottomans neglected, and we'll call it. Are you kidding me? I'm not about to lose the Medicis as I end this campaign, bro. You know, if the AI continued it, I can't let the Wittelsbachs be in charge, so we're gonna take a prestige hit right there. There we go, Serbia has been integrated. Oh, bro, it's like you don't get it. Who the frick is Kinski, yo? No, the Medicis stay in charge. It's like the game is trying to tell me something, you know? So many 3-dev provinces. These Ottomans really were dumbasses, huh, boys? Not deving anything. Look at this. And so suboptimal. Just putting the finishing touches on some buildings right here. Obviously, the Ottomans haven't been doing too much, man. So, yeah, just putting down everything that I want to have put down, you know, re-optimize the forts, workshops, centers of trade, manufactories, churches, marketplaces, you know the deal. And yeah, by the way, it does cost 4 points, for example, to bump up certain provinces. Look how cheap developing is. This is a 20 dev province, Bari, for example, and it's not even like no expand in infrastructure. Let's test it. Bari, 20 development, it costs 6 to dev. If we expand infrastructure, it costs 4, and if we activate not that, okay, well, still, look at this, man, look at this. We can take a Bari up to like 30, no problem. Like, we can make the entire Italian peninsula extremely devved. So yeah, I finished developing everything, boys. As you can see, all of our provinces, their lowest amount of dev is 15, and everything in Italy, every single province that's in the Italian peninsula in the region of Italy is above 20 dev, with a lot of them above 30. And it's still so funny to me, man. We're not even like super late game. We're still missing some modifiers, but look at this, man. Ferrara, 20 dev, it costs 4 to dev it. Encourage development, expand infrastructure. It's the lowest thing can go. It can't be cheaper than 4. I'm still, you know, I'm still full on some points here. So I don't know. Let's make Bologna like extremely developed, for example. We don't want to do it above Florence and Rome, though. You know, those are our most prestigious provinces. But we can very easily bump it up to like 40. There we go. It didn't cost anything, man. I love these dev modifiers, but I think it's time we wrap it up. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our goal for this grand campaign was, as you all know, man, to start off as Florence, form Tuscany, form Italy, conquer all of the Valencia, Genoa, Venice, Ragusa, and Tunis trade nodes, all while building the most tall nation the world has ever seen by doing all of these types of developments and all of these types of construction and upgrading and, you know, stacking modifiers. And as a bonus goal, we also needed to have won the War of the Protestant League. Now, we're in the HRE, man. I somehow joined automatically. I think it's time for us to leave from a roleplay perspective because we don't want to submit to no Germans. We're the Italian Empire. Austria isn't more powerful than us. We are the #2 great power in the world, only behind the Ottomans. And look at how big they are. Look at how big we are, man. A lot of this, boys, trust me, is from developing. Without developing, man, we'd probably be at like 2200 or something like that. So super tall, man. But yeah, that's where we ended up on the great powers list, boys. This is all of our government reforms that we took. We did flip from a republic to a monarchy at a certain point from an event because I thought it made sense, you know, with the Medici staying in power and stuff like that. Obviously, from a min-maxing perspective, it would have been better to stay a republic, but from a roleplay perspective, I think it was better to become, what you call it, a monarchy. But yeah, these are all of the provinces, man, that we've we've developed, as we can see, a lot of them super high dev, above 30, above 40, above 20, and we do not have a single province that is below 15 development, man. Not a single one. You know, if we include territories, nothing changes right here because obviously everything I have is stated. We did do some role play culture converting, like maybe the Dalmatians spread a little bit, a little resettling of the Tuscan guys, the Sardinian guys, the Sicilian guys over here. I didn't manage to complete that because we were using points on more important things, and of course because we conquered these so late. But yeah, pretty much almost everything we have has been converted to Catholic. I could wait a little bit more for it to finish converting, but there's really no point in doing that, boys. You know, buildings built literally everywhere, man. Trade depots in all of the center of trade provinces, courthouses almost everywhere, universities almost everywhere, manufactories in all of the high value trade good provinces, workshops in all of the high value trade good provinces. At least, you know, as far as I got, some of these provinces didn't have available building slots, and we're only getting them now after I bumped them up. But yeah, these final provinces that we took from the Ottomans, man, were so underdeveloped. Like Thessaloniki is one of the easiest provinces to develop. It's so cheap right from the get-go. It costs 6 right now, and you know what, let's go ahead and bump it up, man, because, you know, such a grand province really doesn't deserve to be you know, beaten up by the Ottomans right here. We got a gold mine. I bumped it up to 10. Continuing along with the buildings, man, churches, you know, as far as they were relevant, soldiers' households in a bunch of places where we get a lot of manpower. And yeah, that's what the buildings are looking like. This is the centers of trade, all the modifiers in the provinces from the missions in Italy, 100% control over Genoa and Venice, routing everything to Genoa, and anything that can't go to Genoa goes to Venice, which is pretty much only Alexandria. But actually, Alexandria can go to Genoa as well, so let's go ahead and do that. This is our, you know, situation with level 5 advisors. I broke a lot of alliances at the end because everyone was calling me into wars. I really didn't want to get involved in that. That's why our prestige is tanked. This is our income, man. 500 ducats a month, plus 60% goods produced before furnaces, making 53% of our income from trade, ahead of time in every single tech with 100 innovativeness, innovative Pluto, infrastructure, quality, trade with quantity. All our income could be increased massively. Economic after that as well. Offensive or defensive, something like that would be nutty. Completed all of the Tuscan mission tree except one mission, a bunch of Italian missions done too. All of these policies active for min-maxing stats right here, still under gov cap, 32% admin efficiency, only a couple of more provinces left to convert, almost 100% crown ownership with the estate still happy and privileges granted. And yeah, man, these massive armies right here, we can build them even bigger now. Of course, I could put up a 4th or 5th stack. Nice combat modifiers, nice morale, nice discipline, decent professionalism as well. We weren't really focusing on this too much, but we still ended up, you know, bumping that up as well. And honestly, I can say this was one of the fun and one of the best tall campaigns I've ever done. I love a small focus on like this where we don't have to blob out too much and where we develop these provinces extremely, especially when they only cost 4 ducats to dev. But yeah, I hope you all learned something during this campaign regarding playing tall in EU4, man. Not just, you know, I'm sure a lot of you were watching it purely for entertainment, but maybe you'll take some of these pointers into account next time you want to do a tall campaign for yourself. But, ladies and gentlemen, with all of our goals accomplished, the only thing that's left to do is to take a look at the time lapse, and after that, we'll say goodbye. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this grand campaign, which was Florence to Tuscany to Italy. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you did end up enjoying it. I'm not just assuming. And of course, let me know what you think about my idea for the Russian grand campaign or the other grand campaign that you would like to suggest. But that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.